Good evening and welcome to the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week, the pregame show. Tonight, we are live from Petticoat Junction where Silver Bluff High School, the Bulldogs, will be taking on Wade Hampton from Hampton, South Carolina. Not the one up in Greenville. I was asked that today. Was it the one from Greenville? No, it's the one from Hampton, down below us to the south. And we're ready for a big game in 2A football as they get started on their region games, does both of these teams. And hi, everybody. I'm Ed Gerardo, along with Coach Ken Brace and Aiken Standard Sports Editor Eric Russell. We're here to bring you the action and talk a little bit about tonight's game. But before we do, we were off last week. I'm sure people thought we did it on purpose, that we didn't want to get wet. And we want to say hello to all the people. And, we had in Aiken and toward the river, it wasn't all that bad. But, of course, our friends up in Wagner and Sally got hit pretty good. And, of course, Columbia, where our thoughts and prayers are with everybody on the east side of the state down to the coast. It's been a tough week for all of us those of us in Aiken feeling a little helpless looking back at that. But at any rate, we're dry here at Petticoat Junction, and we're ready for high school football. And I'm sure that helps get everybody's mind off of what's been going on in the past week.
Well, I would think so, but this is an unusual week, and I'm sure the Silver Bluff coaches wish they had a full week of practice, and there's a lot of things that the weather is going to impact on, not only tonight, but as we get ready for the playoffs, too. And the other thing that they've got going for them tonight at Silver Bluff, it's homecoming, all right? And that's Eric's favorite game, and we'll get a chance to see the festivities here tonight. It'll be an interesting, beautiful night, and looking forward to a good football game.
Yeah, we were at Fox Creek's homecoming, and you got to interview the homecoming queen. Maybe we'll get to reenact that.
Maybe.
That would be great. We got two teams tonight, Silver Bluff 2-3, Wade Hampton 3-3. Two teams trying to get themselves established, I would imagine.
Yes, Silver Bluff head coach Al Lown told me this week that his team was ready for the region opener, which would have been last week, but their game didn't get played. It will be made up at the end of the season. But so this will be their region opener, and he's looking forward to getting out there and doing some good things in the region play so they can get back to the playoffs, which they missed out on last year.
Well, as we said, it's dry out here, and we're ready for some football. We'll take a break and come back, and we'll look at some of the other games going on in the area when we return on the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12.
We give very good deals. We don't have the overhead and the dock fees and all the junk that all the newer, fancier dealers do. So people like that hometown atmosphere, and it works for us. And so we continue to do what works for us. And so we just like to keep it plain and simple. You come see us, you'll be glad you did.
Weekends are for resting, relaxing, and recharging your batteries. A good weekend can also give you the time to catch up on business you couldn't get to during the week. For Security Federal Bank customers, that means banking business. What does 7-day banking mean to your banker? More importantly, what does it mean to you? At Security Federal Bank, being open 7 days a week means just that. That's why our Southside branch on Whiskey Road in front of Target is open for business every day, even Saturday and Sunday. We're proud to be the only bank to be open 7 days a week in Aiken County.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
Did you know in the United States someone dies in a drunk driving accident every 52 minutes? I know the statistics all too well. We represent the innocent victims of alcohol-related crashes. We see firsthand the devastation that alcohol can cause for victims and their families. Too often it leads to serious injuries or worse. On behalf of the Chandler Law Firm, a law firm representing injured people, we urge you, please don't drink and drive.
welcome back. Silver Bluff High School tonight playing host to Wade Hampton. We'll talk some more about that game in a minute, but right now we want to go over some of the games being played tonight, and not only tonight, there'll be several games played on Monday. Then we've got one that's scheduled way on out, and we'll get to that in just a second. Midland Valley's at Swansea tonight. That's probably the biggest game, or of the headliners that's played tonight.
Yeah, now, two teams that are both 2 and 4, but both of them a lot of potential. I think this game is going to depend on the quarterbacks. Now that's not unusual for a football game, but we've still got the Carr quarterback is out. Okay, now he's practiced a little bit this week, I understand, Eric.
Yes.
But DJ Boyd's still going to be the starter.
He will still be starting, at least for this week.
Yeah, for this week. And then for Swansea, Chance Walker, who is one of the better quarterbacks in the entire region, but he's a little nicked up. And if he doesn't play tonight, I think that's going to be tough for Swansea. And I would give the edge to Midland Valley in that case.
Yeah, Silver Bluff actually got a chance to see Chance and play against Swansea, and they know how tough they are with him. But last week he went out in the second quarter, I believe it was, and Rick Knight said he doesn't necessarily know if he's going to be out, so they've been planning as if he's going to be there because he's such a dynamic player, and you don't want to not be prepared for that. But without him, it should be an interesting game for Swansea, considering Midland Valley has picked up some confidence with a big win over Gilbert last week, where they were able to run the ball and do some things defensively to stop the run. So
they still have a lot of talent, and even without Carr, they're pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Strom Thurmond's at Crescent, the #1 team in the area, traveling up north. It's about an hour and a half north, up there in Anderson somewhere.
And Strom Thurmond's coming off a couple of very impressive wins against good football teams, so you got to like them tonight. They're undefeated. The only thing that sticks in my mind, Crescent played them very tough last year, and I think it was less than a 2-touchdown win for Strom Thurmond. So Crescent's got a decent football team. They're 3-3 right now. It could be an upset, and maybe Strom Thurmond will just relax just a little bit tonight, but I'm picking Strom Thurmond, don't misunderstand. I think they're going to win the football game.
Yes, I think Strom Thurmond is rolling there with the momentum now. I got to check them out last week during our off week. I went out there. I also saw Midland Valley, but I got to see an impressive performance from their defense, and they just shut Abbeville down, which was one of the top teams in the state in Class 2A. And Strom Thurmond pretty much had their way with them defensively. So the defensive unit is rolling. Tyrese Nick is obviously doing things he's been doing. So is Gilchrist. So they've hit their stride, and Hillary has them excited for this win and the rest of the region.
6-0. They're having quite a season. All right, Blackville Hilda is going to go up Highway 39 to Wagner. This is a rivalry game, and two teams that I think could come out with a win.
Well, I'll tell you what, Blackville's only won one game so far, but they got Armstrong as a running back, and it is a bit of a rivalry game. They've played well this year to be a 1-5 team. On the other side of the coin for me, I like the fact that Wagner's running the wing T. They can spread the ball around a little bit, and they've got Posey and Holmes and Frazier all doing a nice job offensively in their backfield. I like Wagner Sally to pick up their fourth win.
Yeah, when I spoke with Coach Willie Fox earlier this week, and he said when he switched over to the wing tee halfway through the season, it started working. And he was like, it's one of the things he's already learned as a coach. If it starts working, he's going to go with it, regardless of what it was. So that started to work for them. They've put together 2 wins, and he called this their biggest game of the season because with a win, he doesn't want to say they lock up a playoff spot, but it will be hard for them to get left out in Class A with the way they've been going.
And that'd be pretty good to get that done in his first season.
And I like the wing tee. We're going to see that tonight with Silver Bluff too. But I don't know if Wagner's going to run it quite as well as Silver Bluff will, but it's a good offense.
We'll see. McCormick's at Ridge Spring Minetta.
And this one puzzles me just a little bit. McCormick handled Ridge Spring last year pretty easily. It was 32-7, I believe. But I really like what Ridge Spring has been doing. Their 2 running backs have really been outstanding. Their quarterback also has the ability to throw the football. And I just have a feeling that they're going to pull it out tonight. So I'm picking Ridge Spring tonight to make their win.
It should be another good game. Ridge Spring got a big win over Fox Creek, and those 2 teams were considered to be the top 2 in that region. So with another win this week over McCormick, they would pretty much kind of be smooth sailing for them a little bit going forward. So we'll see how that goes for them up in McCormick or at Ridge Spring against a tough McCormick team.
And speaking of Fox Creek, they're at Ware Shoals. They're trying to get back on the winning track.
Yeah, they are, and they have scored a lot more points this season so far as opposed to Ware Shoals, and they've given up many fewer points, so that's got to favor Fox Creek. The downside is Dalton Swires and Caleb Charlton are both a little bit nicked up, and those two are key to the success for Fox Creek. If they're not 100%, that's an equalizer, but if they can play close to 100%, I think Fox Creek will win this football game.
Yeah, much like you said, if Charlton and Swires aren't good to go, it's kind of a recipe for disaster for the Predators.
That'll hurt.
Going out there because they rely on Swires for not only his offense but his defense. But I think they'll have enough to get by Ware Shoals tonight.
And another thing, and we're going to talk about it when we get back to Silver Bluff against their opponent tonight. But Charlton and Swires are leaders for that Fox Creek team, and you take them out of there, and that's a problem. I hope they're ready to go tonight.
Okay, those are the games that are playing tonight. Now, there's quite a few games being played on Monday, and when we tell you the teams that are involved, it's pretty evident why they would be. Lexington's at North Augusta. Lexington, of course, hit hard. They had a lot of flooding, blew out the dam on Main Street right there in the middle of town. It was unbelievable the damage that it did. I'm sure those people are trying to get back to normal, and they will do that on Monday at North Augusta.
Yeah, and the fact that they had to push the game back, I'm sure that gives them a chance to at least have a couple days of practice, which you don't want to go into a ball game without practicing at all. Not only, the football game is important, but it's not nearly as important as maybe some of their family and friends getting their lives back together. So that'll be tough, I think, for Lexington tonight. Both teams 5-1 coming in. My main concern for North Augusta, can they protect their quarterback so that he has an opportunity to do what he can do? And we'll see whether or not that happens.
Yeah, North Augusta got a win over Ridgeview, and they're going into a region that they are hoping to be competitive in, region play here. The effect of Lexington having missed school for much of the week and having a short practice, obviously North Augusta did too with school being out. So it'll be interesting to see how the game plans work out after having the shortened weeks of practice.
All right, now South Aiken will be at River Bluff on Monday. I saw pictures of River Bluff's field. They're next to the river, or one of the rivers in Columbia. They were completely underwater. The goalpost was sticking out of the water.
Right?
Oh yeah, so they've had quite a time up there.
Yeah.
You talk about being able to practice. You can't practice.
You might not be.
No matter what.
Obviously, they couldn't play either.
Yeah.
River Bluff 5-1 coming in, and last year they were able to defeat South Aiken. But I'll tell you what, I think South Aiken's found something. They've got their quarterback Smith back, Tansy Richardson, one of the best in the area, and this would be my upset pick of the week. I think probably most people would expect River Bluff to win, but I think South Aiken will take the victory on Monday night.
And when I spoke with Hamilton before their previous game, which didn't end up getting played against Collinson County, he was saying he just wanted to get to region and see what happens there because he felt like his team had a good chance to compete in it. And he was talking about going into that 3-3, but obviously the game didn't get played last week. So he'll be looking to keep that winning going this week against River Bluff, and he feels like his team can do it with a strong offensive effort. And he's actually liked what he's seen from his defense in parts lately here. So they have some things going for them.
All right, Aiken is at Airport, another one of Columbia's schools. Airport a little bit further towards us, a little further west and away from the rivers. So I don't know that their field was underwater, but still another group that's had a long week. Yeah,
they have had a long week. They've also had a pretty good season so far. They're 6-0 coming into this ball game. They've got to be the favorite coming in. But just like South Aiken, Aiken is a better football team this year, okay, with Sanders and Jones. I really think they're going to give themselves a great win. I'm a little worried about the fact that they got to travel for this game, but I'm still going to pick Aiken to win in an upset.
Aiken is confident, and they feel like they can do something for it as well. And if you talk to some of the other coaches around the region, they all say that Airport is good in the region, but they also know that Aiken is also good. So they all say, I spoke with Knight this week.
At Barnes Well, now, Edisto is called Edisto for a reason. They're down on the Edisto River.
Yeah.
And if you've seen pictures of the Edisto River overflowing its banks, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'm afraid Edisto had some weather problems, a disaster, and I think this football game could be a disaster too. Edisto is not very strong against this year. They're in a down cycle. The last 2 years, I believe they haven't won a football game yet, and the team they're playing is going to be pretty tough. I don't think there's much of a doubt who's going to win this game.
Yeah, Barnwell has some momentum going for them. They already were able to get a region win over Wade Hampton, so they'll be going into tonight's game with that momentum, and they're also being able to find some things in the run game, pass game, and it's going to be a tall task for Edisto.
All right, and there's one other game that was scheduled for tonight, and that's North at Williston Elko. That's been put off till October the 19th. So what do you say we talk about that one when we get down the road?
We can talk. I'll just give you a preview. I believe Williston will be favored in that ball game. Significantly.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, write that down. All right, we're going to take a break. They're introducing the starting lineups right now, and we'll come back and talk about tonight's game where Wade Hampton is here visiting Silver Bluff when we return on the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW. My 12, the pregame show.
Number 53.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family-owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
You've heard of 6 degrees of separation? In Aiken, it's more like 1 or 2. It's a rare day that I don't go to a grocery store and see a former patient, their mother or father, or son or daughter. That's the nature of practicing medicine in a relatively small town, especially emergency medicine. But that's exactly what got me into practicing medicine in the first place, making that personal connection and helping people I know.
People you know, healthcare you trust. Aiken Regional Medical Centers.
Late for work or school again? Autotech can get your car or truck running smoothly in no time. Whether late model or classic, domestic or import, Autotech can get the hums and hisses out of your vehicle. Their state-of-the-art computer diagnostics can identify your problem and get you on your way. Bring your automobile today to 460 Silver Bluff Road across from Hitchcock Plaza. Autotech, mechanics you can trust with your family's safety.
You can smile.
I love to smile.
I was so pleased that I could get all of my dentistry work done in just one visit.
You can smile.
Painless. That's how I would describe it.
Here at the Center for Dentistry, it has been a wonderful experience. With the comprehensive nature of this one office, I can bring my family here and we can have it all done at one place.
You can smile.
Center for Dentistry, 1391 Silver Bluff Road, Aiken.
Calling all college football fans, Unique Expressions has everything you need for game day, including collegiate apparel, accessories, tailgating items, even Yeti coolers. Shop a variety of South Carolina, Clemson, and Georgia gear. We have something for every fan. And that's not all. Unique Expressions offers on-site embroidery, vinyl lettering, and an array of personalized gifts. Find the perfect gift for any occasion and shop brands like Spartina, Vera Bradley, Lidley Pulitzer, Jack Rogers, Simply Southern, Tyler Candle Company, and so much more. Stop in today. Unique Expressions, 1521 Whiskey Road in Mitchell Shopping Center in Aiken, South Carolina.
Devontae Hill, the quarterback.
Welcome back to the pregame show. Tonight we're at Silver Bluff High School, the home of our director, James Grigsby. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the statue, the James Grigsby statue.
I did not. No,
it's over. It's, most statues they put in the front of buildings. James's is in the back.
Okay.
So you have to go looking for it. But,
but I'm sure it's there if you say it is.
He's a famous alumni. We've got some really famous alumni who played football here and went on to NFL careers and that type of thing. But James is right up there with them. He's extraordinary director and producer of the Game of the Week. And they're proud of you, James. All right. Well, the band is out on the field getting ready to bring the national anthem, and we're not far from the kickoff. Let's talk a little bit about Silver Bluff. Silver Bluff trying to bounce back, had a really tough season last year. They're 2-3. Coach Lown, though, just one of the best coaches in the area.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I think what he's been saying throughout the season, and it's coming true, his kids have grown up. They're much, much better this year than they were last year. Last year they were young, inexperienced, and they were overmatched. This year they've been very, very competitive in most of the games, won a couple of very good games. I like the Williston game, for instance, and I think it's going to be a heck of a football game. Both teams evenly matched, I think, tonight.
All right, well, we'll go down to the field right now and join the Silver Bluff Marching Band for tonight's national anthem.
Will everyone remain standing for a moment of silence in the playing of the national anthem?
Silver Bluff High School Marching Band and playing the national anthem for us, get us ready for some football. Now, let's keep on going. Silver Bluff, Eric.
Yeah, like Ken was saying, Al Lown said his team has been growing up, and one of the main areas where he said they've grown up is along the offensive line, and it's shown by the big year that Devontae Hill is putting together running the ball. He feels like they've been blocking well for him, and also Drayton and Tyler Wu and Malik Washington, they're also in the backfield doing great things and putting up big numbers. And Lown pointed to the offensive line maturation as the thing that has led to that. And he also raved about his defensive line, who has a tall task this week of stopping Bryson Butts from Wade Hampton, who his coach said he was one of the best leaders that he's ever had, and he's been coaching for over 20 years. So the game will come down to how Silver Bluff can slow him in the offensive attack for Wade Hampton.
Now, here's a little secret. When Coach was coaching, he ran the wing T. And he's already alluded to it tonight. You love Silver Bluff running the wing T.
Well, they can put on a clinic sometimes with the wing T. He's been running it forever, and they do a terrific job at it. It takes a little getting used to, and I think that's probably what they went through last year a little bit with some of the young linemen. The other thing that's tough for a school that's not a real big school, they can usually find running backs and wide receivers, and he's done a great job at finding quarterbacks over the years. But they don't have a tremendous number of linemen, okay? And so you got to hope that all those guys stay healthy, and I'm sure they don't have a great deal of depth on either the offensive line or the defensive line. One of the reasons I think they go to a three-man front on defense, for instance. But they've done a great job so far this year. I think they're a real contender in their division. I really do. The other side of the coin, you mentioned Putz, and he must be outstanding, and he's one of the guys that you'll like. He's a quarterback. He plays free safety a lot of the times, and he's also their punter. So we could have butts all over the field tonight, if you will. And
pun intended.
but that may be. But he's a great football player.
Obviously, you agree with that. Defensively, what can we expect from? Well, let's talk a little bit about Silver Bluff first. On
defense, Silver Bluff, as he said, they went to that three-man front, and they've liked that this season. They've had success stopping teams early on in the year. Line was expecting them to have to depend on that defense the whole team. The offense has performed a little bit better than he expected early on, but the defense has still been doing what he expected. They had some trouble against Swansea with the versatile quarterback, so that's the one thing that you could look for tonight to see if Bryson can do those kind of things too that Chance Walker was able to do when they came up here.
I know D'Angelo Drayton is starting not only at fullback or the tailback position, whatever that's called.
Yeah.
He's also the middle linebacker.
That's right, and he's a good football player. You got to be a good football player if you're the middle linebacker. When you're playing Mike linebacker, you're expected to go sideline to sideline, and he can do that.
All right, well, that's a little bit of what we can expect tonight. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have the kickoff in tonight's Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12. That's been the pregame show.
At Specs Vision Center, we are focused on total eye care. Be it our large selection of designer frames, latest and contact lenses, or our great sunglass collection, we have just what you are looking for. Our doctors offer years of experience and use the latest technology to ensure a comprehensive eye examination. Late afternoon and Saturday appointments are available, so if you want the best in eye care, call Specs today at 642-9902.
Choosing a physician you can trust with your family's health is an important decision. University Medical Associates has been dedicated to your health care for over 20 years, and Dr. Humans and his staff are ready to provide the quality care you and your family deserve. With short wait times, walk-ins and same-day appointments, an in-house lab by Quest Diagnostics, and 24-hour turnaround on sports physicals, it's no wonder Dr. Humans was selected Best Family Doctor in Aiken's Choice 2015. Come see us today, 934 Doherty Road in Aiken.
You finally found your dream home, but it needs a few tweaks. New windows, vinyl siding, maybe a sunroom. Who do you call to do the job right? Since 1963, Bates & Sons has been proud to offer quality products for your home, installed with unsurpassed workmanship. Check out our latest jobs on Facebook, and you could win one of our monthly giveaways. Visit our showroom on Vaucluse Road, or call 803-648-3581.
Half lemonade, half ice cream. Frosted lemonade, starting at 240 calories.
Friday Night Light! Game of the week. Friday Night Light! Quarterback sneak. Friday Night Light! Here's the call. Friday Night Lights. It's all about football. The grass is cut fresh, lines are out. The stands packed tight and the cheerleaders shout. The marching band blast out fight songs to sing. Yellow jackets and green hornets, let me hear you scream. T-Breds and Mustangs, rebels run the zone. Blue Devils and Bulldogs, we must protect this home. Foxes and Trojans and Eagles showing pride. All the lights are on and we cannot be denied that Friday is the night. We all become freaks, rocking with the high school game of the week.
You're looking live at the field at Silver Bluff High School, just down the road from Petticoat Junction, where tonight Silver Bluff High School takes on Wade Hampton. And 2A football, this is the first conference game of the season for Silver Bluff. Wade Hampton won their opener last week, correct, Coach?
They did win their opener against Barnwell, okay, and excuse me, they lost
to Barnwell.
Against Barnwell in the last year. It was they came back in the last 3 minutes to beat this Silver Bluff team. That's what I was thinking about. But they did lose last week to Barnwell. Had a couple fumbles early in the ball game that they just couldn't quite overcome. They looked like they're pretty ready to play. They had a full week of practice where Silver Bluff only got a couple days. Both teams look very physical tonight, and I think we're going to have a good football game. It has all the makings of a game between two equal teams, and that usually makes for a good one.
The Bulldogs have won the toss and have elected to receive, so the Red Devils will be kicking off. Silver Bluff will defend the south goal. And we are underway. Line drive kick. Gets by, rolls down, going to come up just into the end zone for a touchback. That was close to rolling out of bounds, giving Silver Bluff a great field position. That would have moved it to 35. As it goes, it comes out to the 20, where it'll be a Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10.
From the 20-yard line.
Coach, you got the captains for tonight?
I do have the captains. Okay, for Wade Hampton, we had number 3, Daz Thompson, free safety. Number 5, Quan Raymond. Number 6, Elijah Wright. And number 23, the kicker, Harper Cook. For Silver Bluff, number 2, D'Angelo Drayton, middle linebacker and fullback. And number 5, Malik Washington, also a linebacker, both seniors.
All right, Malcolm Green, the quarterback, comes back to pass, throws it outside on a wheel route. Caught and brought down immediately. Good defense by Wade Hampton.
Yeah, Miles Murdaugh made the tackle, and he was right there. Nice textbook tackle.
Only picked up a couple of yards. Let's see, they're going to give him 3 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 7.
Perfect.
A little different version of the wing T there. They put 2 backs in the backfield, give him a little bit of extra time, gets to the outside, gets the 1st down. And on the carry, that's Devontae Hill, which we talked about in the opening, who's having a good season.
He is having a good season. He's over 500 yards already rushing for the season.
It's a gain of 10 yards. That gain's good enough for a 1st down.
He picked up 15 yards. He got out to the 37-yard line. So we're up 1st and 10. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. Now the more conventional wing T. And going to keep, does the quarterback. So Green gets up past the 40 to the 41.
And I think that was maybe a mishandled snap. I don't know that was a called quarterback draw, but picked up 4. He'll take it.
4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6. Usually if you have a little bobble on the snap, you go down right there at the line of scrimmage. So 4 yards, pretty good play on that. Inside handoff. This is Hill again. He breaks and had 1 man to beat. Gets tackled in Red Devil territory at the 42-yard line. Another Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
And over the years, Silver Bluff has gotten huge plays out of their counter game. Sometimes they run just a regular counter. Sometimes they run a crisscross. Sometimes they run what I used to call a Sally play, okay, where you don't have a lead blocker coming for you. And nice counter action that time. Big gain.
Once again, they go with the stacked backfield and hand off to Hill. Hill trying to get outside. He's going to be tackled for a big loss. So he'll be all the way back to the 48-yard line. That's a loss of 6 yards. Loss of 5. 2nd down and 15.
Lajuan Wright, number 6, one of the initial tacklers, along with number 3, Daz Thompson. Red Devils, pretty decent team on defense. Have only given up 111 points so far this season.
Same formation, different side for Hill. He's going to inside handoff himself. Coming back inside is Teron Jackson. No, check that. That's number 38. So Xavier Drayton. First time we've seen him tonight.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 12 to go for the Bulldogs.
So got 3 of the yards back, 3rd down and 12. Now no one behind him, a couple of tight ends. Man in motion is Hill. They flip back to Hill. Hill gets an inside gap, goes across the 40. It's going to be short of the first down, and this may be 4-down territory, I would think.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Gain of 5 yards.
Gained 5. It's be 4th and long.
Make it 4th down.
Deontay White, number 21, in on the tackle, among others, and saved a bigger gain. That looks like they are going to play a little field position.
4th down, 7. And the punting unit does come on. And at first I thought that Green was going to go back and be the punter, but he's not.
The Bulldogs, number 2, D'Angelo Drayton.
That's D'Angelo Drayton, so it should have known. It starts both ways, and he's the punter. Now we've got stoppage of play, delay of the game on Silver Bluff is the call. That's not going to hurt. It's going to back it up 5 yards. Depending on the strength of Drayton's leg.
Deep for the Red Devils is Bryson Butts. Their do-all athlete.
High kick, calls for a fair catch inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. That'll bring up 1st and 10. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for Wade Hampton as they take possession for the first time in the game. Silver Bluff gets stopped into Red Devil territory. Good punt, good field position.
That was a good punt, and backed him up inside the 10-yard line. Butts made a nice play on it also. If he had not fielded that ball clean, he could have been rolling down toward the goal line.
So Bryson Butts, who fielded that punt, is the quarterback. Hands off. He's brought down as he passes out toward the 15. I think they're going to give him the 15. That'll be a pickup of 6 yards. 2nd down and 4.
Trayvon Williams on the carry that time.
Spread offense. Hands off again inside. Picks up the first down to the 20-yard line. Trayvon Williams on the carry.
It's a gain of 8 yards. That game's good enough for a first down.
So 6 yards on the first carry, 8 yards on the second. Wade Hampton has a Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. No score early here in the first quarter. Now whistles before the ball got off. Offsides against Silver Bluff. So encroachment into the neutral zone before the snap of the ball. Add 5 yards. It's still first down, 1st and 5.
On the Bulldogs. That moves the Red Devils up 5 yards. That makes it first down and 5 to go.
Butts hands on off inside. Short gain. Pick up to the 28-yard line.
Number 1, Trayvon Williams on the carry. It's a gain of 1 yard.
Give him 2 yards. 2nd down and 3.
Something a little bit unusual. You don't see every team do this, but you might note that the wide receivers are not huddling up. Everybody else gets back in the huddle. The 3 wide receivers don't get in the huddle, but they're all looking at their wristband, so they had to get a signal from somebody.
Comes in motion now. Butt's going to go the opposite direction. He's going to be stopped.
He is
Silver
smothered.
Bluff defense up to the task on that. We'll see if they move the sticks at all.
No gain. That'll make it 3rd down.
They're going to move him up a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 2, long 2. Ball spotted at the 29. They need to get just outside the 31. pick up the first down. Silver Bluff comes swarming on that, and that's going to be a big loss, bring up a big fourth down. And any thought of going for it probably went away with the big loss.
Oh, they're not going to go for it down here, I don't believe it, especially after that play. And that's one of the things that over the years Silver Bluff has done very, very well. They brought the house. They just sold out to stop the run on that play, and they smothered him. Knocked him for at least a 5-yard loss. Outstanding defense by Silver Bluff.
Mark it as a 4-yard loss back to the 25-yard line. 4th and 7. And Devontae Hill is deep to receive for the Bulldogs.
And Bryson Butts will punt it now
Butts,
if he
it's
gets
over
the ball.
his head.
This is problem.
Picks it up now. He's going to throw it. Now it falls incomplete, which it will. That just brings it back to the line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line where Silver Bluff will take over 1st and 10. I guess in the overall scheme of things, that probably is better than trying to run it out. Possibly punting past the 25, so that's a pretty heads-up play.
And I'm surprised there wasn't a penalty on that play. Okay.
Well, you should have had a receiver downfield.
He did. There was 125 yards downfield.
An illegal receiver downfield.
Well, it was the center.
and that would have been a penalty that would have been declined. So, all right, Silver Bluff, great field position. All the way to 25, hand off to Hill. Hill looks for room, doesn't find any. He's going to be stopped for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Hill on the carry, no gain on the play.
Both defenses settling in now.
And that was Chris Orr, the outside linebacker, number 15. First man to get to Hill.
You know, so many times you see people pick that ball up in the end zone and try to kick it 5 yards, 10 yards, or run it out of the end zone and be downed at the 2, much less get a safety. I thought throwing it was a pretty good idea.
Smart play.
That was an inside handoff and carrying him down past the 15 to the 14.
Number 5,
Malik Washington. First time we've called his name tonight.
Outstanding running play.
Desmond Thompson. It's a gain of 9 yards. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1 to go for the Bulldogs.
Really well done.
Picked up 9. 3rd and 1. Inside handoff. This time goes to D'Angelo Drayton. Drayton back in the game.
D'Angelo Drayton on the carry.
He picks up the first down. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 at the 12.
Adrian Scheller.
Didn't get a big gain that time, but I'm sure the coaches are happy with the cut that he made. Play was designed to go off tackle or to wind it back over the middle, and that's exactly what he did to pick up that good gain, 1st down.
Inside handoff on the counter play, and Hill going to take it in for the touchdown. Stepped over a would-be tackler around the 2-yard line and got it into the end zone. Silver Bluff's on the board first. 6-0 extra point coming up.
And a terrific trap block by one of the offensive linemen. Opened the hole wide open, and nobody even touched him going in on a little counter. Well executed. Terrific job by the Silver Bluff offensive line.
So a 12-yard touchdown run. And Silver Bluff will go for 2. Going to pass
wide
into the
open.
End zone. Too tall to be brought in. Had a man open in the end zone, but it's incomplete. So Silver Bluff will take the 6-0 lead. 2:31 left to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break and be right back.
We've been selling vehicles in this building since '48. Everybody likes the old atmosphere. We have old pictures of Granddaddy and Daddy and the old license tags and a lot of memorabilia from over the years. So people feel at home when they come up here. But right here in this very building, we started and we're here now. You come see us, you'll be glad you did.
Here's a Specs. Did you see that replay?
That is classic counterplay by Silver Bluff. Okay. Left tackle Eugene Hill pulled, trapped, kicked out the defensive lineman. Easy touchdown.
Little pooch kick. Wade Hampton had some trouble with it at first, but it's going to be recovered by Wade Hampton. Good field position, be at the 37-yard line. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. Security Federal scoreboard shows Silver Bluff with the first score of the night, 6-0. They missed the 2-point conversion, and they lead over Wade Hampton.
Red Devils will take over there.
Remember a couple years ago when Silver Bluff had Zambrano as their kicker, all right, and he was quite a weapon, not only as extra point and field goal, but to kick the ball into the end zone on the kickoffs. They obviously don't have that this year.
Bryson Butts on the keeper. Goes straight up the middle. Looks like he picked up about 5. Brings up 2nd down and 5.
Number 2, Bryson Butts on the keeper. It's a gain of 5 yards. That'll make it 2nd down and 5 to go.
Man comes in motion. Butts keeps, goes back the other way. Going to pick up yardage, pick up 6, and get a first down all the way out to the 49-yard line.
A gain of 7.
A first down for the Red Devils, a yard short of midfield.
Another good run by the quarterback here. Obviously designed to go to the left, and watch this cut. Turns it right back and delivers a blow. Well done.
Signal timeout on the field. Officials going to congregate around the ball. And they're going to call offsides against Wade Hampton. So they lined up in the neutral zone. So they're even. Silver Bluff's done it once. Wade Hampton's done it once. And of course, offensive coaches cannot stand when their offensive players line up in the neutral zone, offsides.
And I wonder if that was called against one of the wide receivers. I don't know, but it may have been.
That would be my guess. Butts scrambling, going to get outside, but he's pulled down. Nice play that time by Drayton to pull him down and lose yardage, get the sack.
D'Angelo Drayton, number 2, tackling Bryson Butts, number 2. And well done defensively. When you can make an open field tackle like that against a great running back, you've done something.
Looked like he was going to turn the corner and gain some good yardage. As it is, he lost 1 yard. 2nd down, 16 coming up. So we see the replay. Good speed by Drayton. Of course, he's a running back. Here comes Butts. And he's going to dive. They'll give him the 50-yard line as he reaches midfield. That's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Gain of 5 yards. Make that 6 yards.
Another example of what we're used to seeing from Silver Bluff. They're not the biggest defensive unit out there, but they do run to the football.
And they gang tackle. And there's the buzzer, and that was a quick first quarter. When you run the ball a lot, the quarters go by quickly. 1 quarter's in the book. Our score, Silver Bluff 6, Wade Hampton nothing. You're watching the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW, My 12.
Weekends are for resting, relaxing, and recharging your batteries. A good weekend can also give you the time to catch up on business you couldn't get to during the week. For Security Federal Bank customers, that means banking business. What does 7-day banking mean to your banker? More importantly, what does it mean to you? At Security Federal Bank, being open 7 days a week means just that. That's why our Southside branch on Whiskey Road in front of Target is open for business every day, even Saturday and Sunday. We're proud to be the only bank to be open 7 days a week in Aiken County.
Silver Bluff High School, the site of tonight's Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week. And the Bulldogs lead the Red Devils of Wade Hampton 6-0. Came in. It is homecoming tonight. A lot of people tailgating. And speaking of tailgating, the ultimate tailgate sponsor is Unique Expressions. Go by and see them in the Mitchell Shopping Center on Whiskey Road and get all your tailgate supplies, whether it's high school, college, or pros. They've got it for you at Unique Expressions. A lot of excitement out there in the parking lot.
Yeah, they really had a nice crowd out there tonight.
They had the grills going and the smells were in the air. But we had to go to work, didn't we, Coach?
Oh, this is tough.
All right, Butts rolls to his left. He's going to have some pressure. Comes back. He's trapped. He's going to get up and throw downfield. Overthrows his man. Actually, did a decent job of getting it in the direction of a receiver and not taking the sack. It's going to bring up 4th down, 9 yards. And the punting unit will come on for Wade Hampton.
And there were 4 Bulldogs in the backfield pursuing Butts, and he did a good job just getting rid of that football. Wasn't anywhere close to anybody, but at least he didn't lose another 10 or 15 yards.
Well, he didn't lose. Gets it away. Going to take a bounce, going to be fielded. And almost getting out. I believe that's Hill. Gets out to the 21-yard line. And Hill was a step from making maybe the length of the field. But as it is, it's a Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 at the 21 for Silver Bluff.
Am I seeing things? Bryson Butts throws the ball right-handed and kicks it left-footed. I think we've seen that before. Remember a couple years ago?
I think we have seen that before.
I'm going to have to watch a little closer, but I think that's what I'm watching here.
Man in motion, hands off to number 32, Teagler Wooten. That's the first time we've called his name tonight. Is he one of the backs that starts for Silver Bluff? Picks up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Our crack staff has gone back and checked the tape. He is left-footed. Good call, Coach. He's ambidextrous or amphibious.
Here we go.
It's pretty sad. And I meant to say the funny thing and then said the right thing. It's not as funny. All right. Picked up 4 yards just over the 25. We'll call it 26.
Knocked out of bounds by number 72, Jaquez Bowers.
Be a 2nd down and 6. Or 3rd down and 6, excuse me.
That'll make it 3rd down and 6 to go for the Bulldogs.
I was going to say, he had 2 people moving in the backfield as the far back was wobbly, which was Hill. And a legal shift going to be the call against Silver Bluff.
And, you know, one of the things I was curious about tonight, they haven't had much practice here in the last week. They prepared for a game that was supposed to be played last Friday against Ridgeland, and, of course, that got postponed. And the schools were out on Monday and Tuesday, so they only got to practice on Wednesday and Thursday. And sometimes you're not quite as sharp.
So the 5-yard walk-off makes it 3rd down and 11. Go back to pass, throwing it over the middle. Good defense by Wade Hampton. Pass was intended for number 6, Devontae Davis.
That'll bring up 4th down.
He falls incomplete. So 4th down, another punting situation. And that'll bring D'Angelo Drayton back on the field to punt.
On the punt for the Bulldogs, number 2, D'Angelo Drayton. Back deep for Wade Hampton, number 21, Deontay White. And number 2, Bryson Butts.
Butts and White deep for Wade Hampton here.
Line drive punt, bobbled, picked up, but Silver Bluff's on him quickly. Didn't get a chance to get started. Brings him down at the 47-yard line.
Butts on the return. No gain.
So 3 yards short of 50-yard line is where the Red Devils will put it in play. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10.
Very nice coverage by Silver Bluff. Ball was bobbled and good recovery by the Red Devils to keep possession.
Wade Hampton has had limited success on offense tonight, gets nowhere. Silver Bluff doing a good job of keeping them from getting to the edges. No gain, 2nd down and 10.
And so far, if this game is an indication of how they want to play, both of these teams certainly run-oriented. Okay, not looking to throw the ball very much at all. Only seen a couple of passes out of the Red Devils, and I think just 2 or 3 out of Silver Bluff, one of which was an attempt on the extra point.
Well, they certainly run against, or throw against the run. Now here's a little wheel route out into the flat, and this is going to work. Looks like a flag came out at the 50-yard line. And the coaches on the sidelines are saying is holding against Wade Hampton. Let's see what the call is.
Number 21 had his hands up as if to say, who, me? I didn't do that. But I believe it's going to be called against Deontay White.
Holding against Wade Hampton is the call. They'll walk it off from the 50. Going to go back to the 40. So it'll remain 2nd down. But there we see a pass play that goes for pretty good yardage.
And there was definitely a hold. When you get your arms around the front and the back of the defender, they're going to call that every time. And good call by the refs.
So 2nd down, 17 for Wade Hampton. 3 split wide to the right, 1 to the left. Now another fumble. It falls and lands. Well, somehow or another, Butts ended up with it. Here comes a flag in late. The ball was teetering around, and Javon Williams, I thought, had it, and then Butts came out of the pile
Number
with
2,
it.
Bryson Butts on the keeper. We have a flag on the play.
This is a personal foul. Hands to the face is the call against Silver Bluff. So that'll be a 15-yard walk-off. I'm not sure whether that's from the
we can see it here.
Line of scrimmage or whether it's.
That ball was handled 3 different times.
And somehow Butts comes out of that pile running downfield.
Got a personal foul against the Bulldogs, hands to the face.
So it's still 2nd down. A 15-yard walk-off brings them up 2 yards short of the first down. So 2nd down and 2. And a big break for Wade Hampton to get that call.
Did you know in the United States someone dies in a drunk driving accident every 52 minutes? I know the statistics all too well. We represent the innocent victims of alcohol-related crashes. We see firsthand the devastation that alcohol can cause for victims and their families. Too often it leads to serious injuries or worse. On behalf of the Chandler Law Firm, a law firm representing injured people, we urge you, please don't drink and drive.
Silver Bluff takes a timeout, gets his defense over on the side. Coach Lown and his coaches were pretty emphatic about what they wanted done.
We have seen him animated before, haven't we?
Oh, we have. And never forget that Strom Thurmond game where you noticed he said, I think we're about to see a turnaround after that. And we did. That was quite a comeback that night, right here on this field. All right, Wade Hampton's talked it over. 2 split wide to the left, 2 to the right. Williams in the backfield next to Butts. Butts goes down long. And that's going to be the 48-yard line. They pick up 4. Second down and 6.
That's going to make it second down and 5 to go for the Red Devils.
Clock runs. 5:25 left to go until halftime. Inside handoff. This is Williams getting good yardage. He's down into Bulldog territory again, all the way to the 38-yard line. That's a pickup of 14 yards. Move the chains. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 for the Red Devils.
That'll make it 1st down and 10.
And that's another good effort by Trayvon Williams. I like the way he reads his blocks up front, and then I like the way he sort of glides a little bit. We talk about that, you know. He didn't look like he was going full speed, but picked his hole well, glided a little bit, and then turned it on a little. Nice game.
Wade Hampton trying to pull even. And here comes Williams again, getting good yardage out to the 30, crosses the 30 to the 29.
Number 1, Trayvon Williams on the carry.
Wade Hampton now sticking it on the ground and going inside the tackles.
And we've seen Silver Bluff be effective with their pulling linemen to open up some trap holes. That time both the left guard and left tackle pulled for Wade Hampton to lead the ball carrier pretty effectively.
Second down and 2. And I believe Wade Hampton is going to call a timeout. We got a Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
All right, Wade Hampton talking it over. They trail 6-0, 4:13 left to go until halftime, and I'm sure Silver Bluff would like nothing more than just to keep them out of the end zone.
I think that's why they took the timeout. They've got their best field position of the night and a pretty decent drive going so far. They found a little success now running the football. They got plenty of time to score, but they don't want to waste the opportunity.
So here comes Butts on the keeper. Going to get the first down and more. Inside the 10, all the way down to the 7. The ball came loose, and Silver Bluff has recovered it. So the Red Devils shoot themselves in the foot. And Butts running hard, just trying to get extra yardage. Tried a little too hard, lost the ball, and turns it over to the Bulldogs.
And from an objective point of view, you hate to see that for the kid. He makes a great effort and just fighting like crazy. Ball starts to come loose. He's tackled by 3 or 4 different people and can't hold on to it. Silver Bluff, of course, doesn't care what kind of good effort it was. They're just happy that he let go of the football.
It's a good job by Silver Bluff to knock that out.
Yes, it was.
He was covering it up, carrying it with both hands.
Huge break for Silver Bluff because he had moved it way down inside the 10-yard line.
Ball's at the 3-yard line. And here's Drayton. No, this is not Drayton. It's the fullback position.
Number 28.
Bruce Hill coming out from that position and gets outside the 15 to the 16-yard line.
A gain of 11 yards. That gain's good enough for a first down.
So Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 on the 11-yard carry. Gets him out of the shadow of the goal line. And the best part is it keeps the clock moving. Silver Bluff probably content to run the clock out here and go in with the lead at the half.
Oh, that's a nice tackle that time.
Stood him up right at the goal line.
Or at the Devontae Hill on the carry. No gain
the line
of
of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10.
Pernell Maxwell,
actually make that a gain
one of the outside linebackers for Wade Hampton, did a nice job.
2nd down and 8 for the Bulldogs.
Give him a yard. 2nd down and 9. Now a little movement. That'll stop the clock right at 3 minutes. They'll call a procedure against Silver Bluff. That'll be a 5-yard walk-off. We'll make it 2nd down and 14.
We had an illegal procedure against the Bulldogs.
After the penalty, they restart the clock. That's something you see in high school football. I think that's a rule that they need to address, that after a penalty, the offense who's trying to run the clock out can have a penalty and reset the clock and get 25 more seconds. And here comes Silver Bluff running the ball, and they just get out there and get the first down anyway. That was Drayton on the carry. He's out to the 26, 27, and they may have to call for the chains. Well, they're going to say he picked up the first down. They're going to move the chains. Another Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10. Nice run, 15 yards by Silver Bluff.
And that was a great wing key play. That was a guard trap right up the middle and well run. Come back with it again. Better defense that time.
Going to pick up a couple of yards. 2nd down, 8.
Number 2, D'Angelo Drayton on the carry.
Ball spotted at 30-yard line. Clock runs down to 2 minutes.
That'll make it 2nd down and 8 to go for the Bulldogs.
I would think that if Silver Bluff can pick up another first down, they'll be able to run the clock out and go in at halftime. And that's going to get them the first down as it's all the way up to the 40s, a 10-yard run. Now it's 1 minute 37 seconds here I think they're going to be content, don't you, Coach?
I don't. I think they're going to run one of their counter plays here. We've seen
well,
that
if it breaks, you're not content if it breaks.
That's it.
But I don't see them starting to throw the ball.
No, I don't think they're going to. I would be surprised, like you, if they started to throw it now. But I would not be surprised to see them run one of their counter plays. The one that they used to make a living off was the crisscross. I don't know if we'll see that, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a counter.
Alvan, something was wrong with the formation. He calls a timeout, and he's going to come out and say, "You give a little instruction."
That's
he was
exactly
nice
right.
about it. You're not in the right spot, son. I can hear him saying it now.
This is where you are. This is where we want you to be. let's get to where we want you to be.
And I would imagine Coach Leon is still going through the growing pains, but certainly this is a much improved team from what we saw last year.
Oh, yeah. And that young man that he was just talking to is a sophomore. And I got to tell you, it's not all that uncommon for a sophomore to need a little bit more direction than a senior.
The first one, go collect your prize down at the doghouse.
I do believe that is the last time out of the first half for Silver Bluff.
Tricia Williams, go get your prize at the doghouse.
So they're set now. Now here he comes back with the pass. He was looking long. Now he's going to just run out of that formation. He's going to pick up positive yardage.
Number 3.
I think if he's probably told Green, if he's open, throw it. If he ain't open, don't risk it. He picked up 5 yards, second down and 5. They go quickly. Handoff. This is Jerky, breaks into the open, and he's going to go the distance. So they hammer away. They pick up the fumble inside the 5 at the 3. They go 97 yards in just under 4 minutes and put another touchdown on the board. And I'm sure, like Coach said, they'll take it even if they were trying to run the clock.
And I haven't seen the replay yet, but I'm sure that was a trap play. Okay, that's the fullback trap right up the middle. And number 52 was one of the pulling guards on a previous play. That would be Marlo Jones. And when we see that replay, just watch to see whether or not one of the guards doesn't pull across the formation to kick out the defensive lineman, and it opened up a huge hole. He got hit, but he was able to break the tackle and take it in for a touchdown.
So Drayton
Love that play.
Drayton goes 56 yards for the touchdown. 2-point conversion. Everett flip it back. And this is Hill coming hard. He gets into the end zone for the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. So Silver Bluff takes a 14-0 lead with 43.8 seconds left to go until halftime. I imagine it'll be a fairly pleasant halftime talk, at least for Silver Bluff.
Should be. And let's see if we can get that replay on the touchdown. Here we come.
That was just a straight dive.
Yeah.
No counter to it at all.
No, it wasn't the counter.
Winner, go collect your prize down at the doghouse.
Well done.
The drawing right now, Colton Key. Colton Key, go collect your prize down at the doghouse.
Don't forget, it's homecoming here at Silver Bluff. Stay tuned for the homecoming court. And hopefully, Eric Russell will be interviewing once again the homecoming queen for Silver Bluff.
One of the things I wouldn't be surprised that Silver Bluff did there was have the fullback read the block on the nose guard, okay, and have the option if they take him to the right, go to the left. If they take him left, go right. Pretty good play, whatever they did.
Number 2,
pops it up, caught around the 20-yard line. This is Williams. Williams cuts to the middle, gets out past the 30 to the 32-yard line. 38.1 seconds to go until halftime. Don't forget to stay tuned at the end of tonight's game where we'll present the Tal Wilkins Center for Dentistry MVP. Got a couple of players from Silver Bluff having good nights.
Now Wade Hampton's going to get the ball to start the second half. Let's see if they're willing to risk it. Maybe they'll just let Butts throw it long.
Comes in motion, handoff on the jet sweep, going nowhere.
Surrounded.
Number 17, Deion Singleton on the carry.
And I would think that Wade Hampton would say, okay, they may run one more play.
That's to make it 2nd down and 10 to
Of course,
go
we
for
thought
Wade
Silver
Hampton.
Bluff was maybe running the clock out, and good things happened to keep hammering away. Let's see what Wade Hampton will come up with. They'll have to hurry if they're going to run one more. They do. Here comes Williams. And the buzzer sounds, and that'll do it for the first half. The first half is in the books here at Silver Bluff High School, with the Bulldogs leading the Red Devils of Wade Hampton 14-0. Good first half for Silver Bluff.
Yes, it was a good first half. Played solid defense. Okay. Came up with a big turnover when Wade Hampton was threatening down inside the 10-yard line. That was a big defensive play, but all through the first half, Silver Bluff did a nice job defensively.
All right, as we said, it's homecoming here. We'll have the homecoming court. We'll take a break and come back and see who your homecoming court is for Silver Bluff on tonight's Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12.
We give very good deals. We don't have the overhead and the dock fees and all the junk that all the newer, fancier dealers do. So people like that hometown atmosphere, and it works for us. And so we continue to do what works for us. And so we just like to keep it plain and simple. You come see us, you'll be glad you did.
Weekends are for resting, relaxing, and recharging your batteries. A good weekend can also give you the time to catch up on business you couldn't get to during the week. For Security Federal Bank customers, that means banking business. What does 7-day banking mean to your banker? More importantly, what does it mean to you? At Security Federal Bank, being open 7 days a week means just that. That's why our Southside branch on Whiskey Road in front of Target is open for business every day, even Saturday and Sunday. We're proud to be the only bank to be open 7 days a week in Aiken County.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi Ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
Welcome back. Silver Bluff High School leads in tonight's Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week. 14-0 over Wade Hampton. Silver Bluff got on the board first with a run from Devontae Hill. Devontae Hill, a 12-yard TD run in the first quarter, put them up 6-0, and a two-point conversion failed. And then in the second quarter, as time was expiring, D'Angelo Drayton broke loose for a 56-yard touchdown run right up the middle. Two-point conversion was good. Once again to Hill, and the score is that 14-0 at the half. Good half for Silver Bluff.
It certainly was a good half. Okay, like I said, very impressed by both teams defensively for the most part. Silver Bluff especially, they threw a shutout in the first half here, and then they ran their offense well enough to gain some yardage and popped a couple of them for big gains, especially that last run, and that made a big difference. 14-0 is a good score for their homecoming to start.
As we said, it's homecoming here tonight. Had a big crowd out in the parking lot in the north end zone, out behind the north end zone, and had the grills fired up and music playing, and good crowd on hand to come back home and see their Bulldogs play.
Ladies and
gentlemen, and have a big homecoming court. So let's go down to the field and see who the homecoming court is for Silver Bluff High School.
Representing the 9th grade is Miss Lanadia Walker. escorted by Mr. Terrell Walker. Representing the 10th grade is Miss Shamika Johnson, escorted by Mr. Jermaine Johnson. Representing the 11th grade is Miss Larissa Arias, escorted by Mr. Alejandro Arias. Representing Darnell Davis is Miss Napiria Brim, escorted by Mr. Vincent Brim. Representing Kwame Lawrence is Miss Ashlyn Bush, escorted by Mr. Patrick Bush. Representing Justin Lawrence is Miss LaQuasia Cummings, escorted by Mr. Michael Souza. Representing Hasheen Vautner is Miss Borgia Green, escorted by Mr. Frankie Boyd. Representing Malcolm Green is Miss Takia Green, escorted by Mr. Byron Green. Representing D'Angelo Drayton is Miss Jamisha Harley, escorted by Mr. James Harley. Representing Devontae Hill is Miss Aaliyah Jones, escorted by Mr. Joseph Mims. Representing Brandon Hill is Miss Marcasia Kitchens, escorted by Mr. Marcus Kitchens. Representing Teron Jackson is Miss Ashlyn Randolph, escorted by Mr. Irving Randolph. Representing Chris Pollock is Miss Chandria Tanksley, escorted by Miss Kim Johnson. Representing Kevin Perry is Miss Destiny Young, escorted by Mr. Chris Lincoln.
If she has money, you can get
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Silver Bluff High School Homecoming Court. All right, let's get to the winners. The 2015 senior representative is Miss Ashlyn Bush. The 2015 Silver Bluff High School homecoming queen is Miss Marcasia Kitchens.
And there's your winner. Congratulations to Marcasia Kitchens, the winner of the Silver Bluff homecoming festivities here tonight at Silver Bluff High School. And congratulations to her. And what a big homecoming court they had.
Yeah, they had a nice court, and each of the senior football players was represented by one of the contestants. Okay, nice tradition.
It was great. Eric, you're down there on the field. Did you get a good anything to add to all of that?
It was a great homecoming.
Have you got any football scores for us? Let's get back to football.
I do have some football scores for you. A couple teams are up big. Fox Creek leads 19-0 over Ware Shoals. Midland Valley has opened up a 20-0 lead over Swansea at halftime. Strom Thurmond is up 14-7 right now, and McCormick has a 12-0 lead over Ridge Spring at halftime. In Wagner, there's a tight battle going on. It's 14-14 between Wagner and Blackville right now.
So some good games going on.
Yeah, it's very competitive, it looks like. And this could be a big night, actually, for our teams that we follow, because I think a lot of them are going to come out winners. And then when we add to that on Monday, could be a nice week for the teams that we get to watch each week.
The great thing about playing tonight is they can rest a little bit and then pick up practice as usual, whereas these teams that are playing on Monday night are really going to be out of kilter a little bit.
Yeah, in our off-the-field segment, which we'll just segue to right now, this really does disrupt things. And I don't know a football coach in America that enjoys it when the weather plays havoc with their schedule. They like to have some continuity, and this has really been a mess the past week. Can't do anything about it, but for instance, tonight we've got two teams that have very different kinds of consequences. Wade Hampton did play last Friday. Lost in the rain at the end of their ball game, so they weren't happy about that, but then they got a regular practice week. Silver Bluff didn't have a regular practice week. They only got to practice twice, okay? I think they're doing a nice job for only having 2 days of practice, okay? It also impacts the end of the season, okay, because at the end of the season now, Silver Bluff has a game they have to make up. So they're adding that to the end of the schedule. If they play that game on November the 6th, then they have to move right into the playoffs, hopefully, the next week, and then there won't be a break in between the semifinals and the finals of the playoffs. So it really does a lot of damage to their scheduling. Now, Eric, you got a chance to talk to a couple of the coaches. How'd they feel about what happened this week in terms of continuity for their team?
Yeah, they were all saying it wasn't ideal necessarily, but it's an understandable thing that they had to do. One of the interesting things is a couple of people on the internet and social media in other areas and other coverage areas, they were complaining about how Class A wasn't able to move their playoffs under any circumstances. The high school league decided, which did make a couple people happy in some of those smaller towns that did get hit. So that was something else that went on. And Class A got the change because obviously they had that bye week in between.
You mean 2A?
Well, yeah, Class 2A got the change because they had that bye week in between, but Class A didn't have that, and the high school league decided they weren't going to move it, which drew the ire of some people.
I bet it did, especially if you can't make up these games, and why can one group do it and the other group can?
It's gotten to the point like Williston will have to do with their game against North. They're going to play that Friday, and then the Monday they have a game because there has to be 2 days in between at least, and then they're going to have to play again the next Friday. So it'll be 3 games in about 8 days, I believe it is.
And I'll tell you what, as a coach, that would really upset me if I had to play 3 games, because the way these kids go at it on the field out there, they need a couple of days just to recover. You're not going to get a whole lot out of them the day after a game or even 2 days after the game. That's why, the weekend gives them a little bit of a break. But that makes it tough on these kids. And when you add a 3rd game within 8 days, that's really physically demanding, and their performance can't possibly, as far as I'm concerned, be as good under those circumstances.
It is a tough situation in the fact of it's unprecedented what happened as far as the weather is concerned, and the amount of rain and the flooding and everything that went on. So everybody can understand that. It is sort of interesting that there's a different set of rules for one class as opposed to another one from there. Yeah. Now let me ask you this question. Silver Bluff couldn't practice for what reason? Well, I know they were out of school. Why couldn't they just practice?
When you're out of school, you cannot participate in any activities that go on with the school or extracurricular.
Really?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of universal, Eric. I know in the state that I coached in, we had the same thing.
I bet they wouldn't have let us get away with that. They would have had us out there on 2-a-days.
Well,
we would have been saying, please bring us back to school.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine would happen.
So, yeah, some of the places that didn't get hit but were out of school because of roads and stuff still didn't get to practice. So,
gracious. That does make it awfully tough if you can't go to practice. And obviously in Aiken County, Wagner sallied up there in that area, Rich Spring a little bit too. They had some damage on the highways up there. It wasn't really all that much flooding. I was up Sunday in Wagner looking at the Edisto River and sort of looking around with my son who works at Aiken Standard. And we didn't find anything disastrous in Aiken County. The rivers were up.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting to see the next day roads started washing out, because the rivers came up even higher on Monday after the rain had stopped for all intent and purposes.
Now one of the things, and it appears to me that this may be the case for Silver Bluff, they run an offense, and they're going to run that offense no matter what you do to them on defense. Okay, they're going to run the wing tee, and they're going to run their set plays. They're going to trap you. They're going to run an ISO or the belly or whatever they call it. They're going to run their counters. So it really probably didn't impact a team like that as much as another team who wants to change things up based on the defense you play. But they're doing a nice job tonight offensively, and it's kind of a credit to their coaches once again that they've been able to do as well as they have tonight offensively.
Eric, any final thoughts?
Yeah, exactly what Ken said. When I spoke with Lown earlier, he said it wasn't much of a problem offensively, but defensively they have to plan for different offenses, so that was the only area. But they were apparently heading into this week, they were ready to play Ridgeland Monday if it came to that, so they had 2 game plans ready.
Good for them. Well done.
Eric,
thank you. We'll see you again later on with the Auto Tech Sideline Report.
All right, guys.
We appreciate your help here at halftime. The teams are back on the field. Silver Bluff won the toss, the opening toss, elected to receive, so they will kick here to open the second half. So Wade Hampton will get the ball and try to get something going as they trail 14-0. As the whistles blow, the ball's kicked straight down the field. Sort of another one of those, let's see if we can get an onside kick, and they're going to call illegal procedure against the Bulldogs, and that's an interesting call. What would the illegal procedure be? He started going forward before the whistle blew?
Perhaps.
I don't know where he could hear the whistle for the music playing.
And I'm not sure who the kicker is. Don't have him on the roster tonight.
So a mystery kicker.
Mystery kicker, but
number 16.
See what happens.
time gets it up in the air, gets it downfield, and out of bounds. So the ball will come out to the 35-yard line where Wade Hampton will take it over. 1st and 10, Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10.
Now, it appears to me that Wade Hampton's got a couple of athletes that are really capable offensive players in the backfield, but Silver Bluff really shut them down for most of the first half. They had a pretty decent drive at the end of the second quarter that ended in a fumble inside the 5-yard line, but other than that, they were pretty much stymied by this Silver Bluff D.
Now, this is interesting. They're going to take the penalty of a 5-yard walk-off.
Make them kick it again.
They've already had a 5-yard walk-off, so now they're all the way back to the 30-yard line, and they will kick it again. And probably taking advantage of this unknown kicker. Silver Bluff has tried a little pooch kick. Right now, a little pooch kick would have been around around midfield at 50. Let's see what he tries this time.
There's a good kick.
Kicks it way back there. This is going to be in play. Picked up at the 15. Coming back across the field. Turns inside. Gets to the 25. That's going to cost Wade Hampton 10 yards.
And that's good coverage by Silver Bluff. Gang tackled again. Took him back. Very good coverage and a nice kick.
Very good kick. Sort of fooled Wade Hampton out of that.
If he was at the county fair or something like that, that's what you get, 3 for $1 or something, don't you? The third kick was the best of the bunch.
It got progressively better, except for the out-of-bounds part of that one. So the ball is at the 26-yard line. They lost 9 yards on that exchange of kicks as they were going to get the ball at 35. Now here comes Butts, got a pack in front of him, and he's going to gain 10 yards. The ball came loose.
Yes, it did.
Silver Bluff's going to recover it. And Butts' second fumble of the game. Another turnover for Wade Hampton, and the Bulldogs are in business at their own 36-yard line.
And one of the things that causes this fumble is he's hit by more than one man. Now he makes a nice run again, follows his blocking well. It's hit, and 2 of them there. Number 44, don't know who caused the fumble, but Tyson Wooten picks it up, one of their linebackers. Nice job by the defense.
Looks like he put a hat on the ball. Now here's an I formation. This is a different formation. And Hill comes charging out of that and picks up good yardage all the way down to the 20, inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Hill picks up 17 yards. That was interesting. Looked like University of Georgia or something running those type of Bulldogs.
Well, you know, one of the things that I am going to assume, and I could be wrong, but the blocking schemes up front are probably the same regardless of whether they've got them in the typical wing T formation or go to the I. A lot of teams do that.
They stay in the I formation, bring a man in motion. Hand off, here comes Hill again. This time not going to get quite the yardage, but still get a good gain just short of the 10 at the 11-yard line. Be a pickup of 7 yards.
Took quite a shot at the end of that play, but was able to hold on to the football.
2nd down and 3.
And that shot came from behind him. He wasn't expecting it, so that's pretty good effort there to hold on to that ball when you're not expecting to get hit.
Once again, I formation. Going to run to the right, get a little hesitation move, goes inside the 10, going to pick up the first down, I believe. Move the chains and we'll put the chains down. It's the Chandler Law Firm 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. So Silver Bluff comes out very impressively, a power formation, and just goes down Wade Hampton's throat. So they've got 7 more yards to pay it off. Here comes Hill, inside the 5, down to the 3.
This is just power football right here.
And like I said, instead of the Silver Bluff Bulldogs, this is Georgia Bulldog formation. They run the power I formation. They usually split some receivers. They've got 2 tight ends and then a wing back up close.
And then they get the lead block out of the fullback. And they've done a lot of double tight tonight, and what that does is square the defense up. You can pretty much tell where they're going to be when you line up with two tight ends.
One more time, Hill's carried it. Every time he stretches, gets to the 2, so they finally slow him down. And they'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
No gain on the play.
Adrian Scheller, number 44, good penetration that time. That's the best defensive play they've had during this series. Silver Bluff's been moving the ball at will.
Well, they got down here running the same play back and forth, side to side. Let's see if they try something different. They had the ball spotted at the 3. 3rd and goal from the 3. Handoff again to Hill. Hill's inside the 3, and he's close. He's in. Touchdown. Sticks the nose of the ball into the end zone, and that was nothing but Devontae Hill time and time again. 36 yards. Don't know exactly how many carries it was, but he carried the rock on that one.
And terrific running, but let's give some credit to these linemen. The right guard, Marlo Jones. The right tackle, Eugene Hill. Center, Brandon Dooley. Left guard, Brandon Green. And left tackle, Isaiah Green. All right, they really did a nice job. They were moving people out of there during this drive.
So a 2-point conversion again. Back to the wing T formation. Hill out of that. Powers wing T to the right in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So Silver Bluff gets the turnover and marches down the field to take a 22-0 lead here in the 3rd quarter of the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12. We'll be right back.
Did you know in the United States someone dies in a drunk driving accident every 52 minutes? I know the statistics all too well. We represent the innocent victims of alcohol-related crashes. We see firsthand the devastation that alcohol can cause for victims and their families. Too often it leads to serious injuries or worse. On behalf of the Chandler Law Firm, a law firm representing injured people, we urge you, please don't drink and drive.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
22-0, Silver Bluff over Wade Hampton. As they will kick it again. This time a little pooch kick, and it didn't go 10 yards. I guess that was an attempt at a onside kick. Silver Bluff, we've seen a lot from their kicking game tonight.
Yeah.
Well, it was like he missed it. We'll have to see on the replay, on the specs. Did you see that replay?
That
was an interesting looking. It fooled me. He looked like a full swing on his kick.
That fooled everybody. That may be one of the shortest kicks I've ever seen.
All right, ball is.
Not maybe. It is one of the shortest kicks I've ever seen.
It was Silver Bluff just downed it. The kick was at the 40. Only went 4 yards. 44-yard line. Wade Hampton starts. Here comes Williams. Williams crosses the 40.
Number 1, Trayvon Williams.
They're going to spot him at the 40-yard line. Pick up a 4, second down and 6.
D'Angelo Drayton on the tackle.
Look at the specs. Did you see that kick? No, that's the.
Here's the extra point. And they ran a.
Oh, here we go. Here's the kick.
Here we go.
Well, he just missed it. All right, back on the field. And Wade Hampton, Silver Bluff gets outside, brings him down quickly. He picked up maybe a yard.
Now, from the look of that replay, it certainly looked like he was trying to, kick an onside kick and just didn't quite catch it.
They gained 2 yards, second down and 4, third down and 4.
And it's awful early in the football game yet this second half, but I think this is 4-down territory now for Wade Hampton. They got to make something happen.
Quick pass, caught right at the first down marker. We'll see if they spot him with the first down. It's over the 35, just short of the 34. And they're going to say it is the 34-yard line. They'll give him the first down and move the chains. Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10. So Wade Hampton moves the chains as they try to get back in this game. A couple of costly turnovers have resulted in 2 touchdowns for Silver Bluff. The last one, a 97-yard drive of the first half. That's actually the first one. The last fumble resulted in a 36-yard drive. Slips down, does butts. Gains about 4 yards, 2nd down and 6.
Silver Bluff very active on defense. A lot of movement out of that defensive set that they run. Linebackers very, very active. They cause people problems.
Well, a fumble goes over Butts' head. Butts just falls on it. That'll be a big loss. It'll be back all the way to the 43-yard line. In fact, we didn't count that as a turnover, but the first touchdown was after that bad snap on the punt. It went over Butts' head, and he picked it up in the end zone, threw it, and saved him a safety at that point, but Silver Bluff stuck it in the end zone. So that was as good as a turnover. So mistakes by Wade Hampton playing big in this game.
And that hurt them last week also. We had 2 fumbles early in the ball game to give 14 points up.
Now they find themselves in 3rd and long, now 4th and long after an incomplete pass, and Wade Hampton will have to punt. Just from watching their passing game, they are definitely not a passing team. They find themselves behind the 8 ball now, trailing 22-0. And you know what Silver Bluff will do with the ball here is try to run some clock. Butts gets it away. Line drive. It's going to roll down inside the 10.
Yeah, that's good coverage.
Hampton covers it inside the 5. Looks like they're going to mark it at 4. And that's where Silver Bluff will start. Last time they started this deep in their territory, it was actually the 3. They're going to say it's spotted at the 2. Last time it was at the 3, and they went 97 yards right there before the end of the first half. That kind of drive will take them into the 4th quarter.
Sure. I got to believe Wade is going to bring a lot of heat here. Try to create a fumble, get a safety, and the only danger when you do that is if they should pop it, they could go all the way. Let's see what happens.
They come back with that I formation. And hitting the backfield.
Yeah.
And he may have gotten a safety on that.
I believe they did.
Wait, yeah. It is a safety. And so Wade Hampton gets on the board on the first play, a safety.
And that is a mistake. That linebacker came up, and he was coming for a run blitz the entire way. And like I say, they had to make something happen. He hit the man 5 yards deep in the backfield. Watch him now here coming from the right-hand side. Right defensive side. Here he comes. Nobody touches him. That's a busted play. That's a busted blocking assignment up front.
So Wade Hampton puts 2 on the board, 22-2. And the important part there is it's a 3-score game. I don't know what Wade Hampton's kicking game is like. We haven't seen that tonight. But 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points. And they're going to get pretty good field position, you would think.
They should, but we've seen some strange things happen.
We've seen some strange kicks from Silver Bluff.
We sure have.
And again, we don't know who the kicker is. We don't have him on the roster. So Williams deep to receive.
There's a good
kick. It up, and this is going to be Williams with a chance to return it. No, that's not Williams. That's 21. Gets over the 50. Going to have great field position inside the 35. That's number 21, which is Devontae White. We've seen him from wide receiver tonight. And now Wade Hampton, who has shot themselves in the foot several times, has new life. Let's see if they can get it into the end zone, as they got a quick 2 points on the punt and the safety on Silver Bluff.
And that safety was huge here, really. That may shift some momentum. Good coverage on their special teams coverage. Downed it inside the 3-yard line. Get the safety. Let's see if they can get something moving here.
32-yard line. Here comes Butts. Dodges one man. Gets to about the 30. He may have picked up 2 yards. And he had to dodge somebody in the backfield just to get that. It looked like Devontae Davis in the backfield. It also may have been Teron Jackson.
And I believe Coach Lowndes said earlier in the week to Eric that they were going to be very conscious of the quarterback for Wade Hampton, Bryson Butts, and they have slowed him down pretty well tonight. They've tried to run that play that they just ran a few times. He's got nothing.
2nd down and 8. He rolls out looking to pass. Here's a flag. He's going to be holding. Throws it away out of bounds. It's a good play by Butts. Butts has done a good job of at least getting rid of the ball and not taking sacks, but I do believe this is going to be holding against Wade Hampton. We'll see if Coach Lowndes takes it. Based on where they are on the field, he may go ahead and take that.
The only time that Butts has had any success throwing the ball is when they've been quick throws, whether they've been, an attempt at a fade, a deep throw, which he's done once or twice, and then some quick patterns. But when he's had to play action or roll out, he has been hotly pursued all night long. He's been thrown off balance, hasn't really had much of a chance at all to complete anything.
That walk-off is all the way back to the 49-yard line, a yard short of the 50-yard line. So, 2nd down and 26. The holding occurred in the backfield, so it's 10 yards. And now here comes the whistles again. And a procedure penalty against Wade Hampton, another 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 30. And Wade Hampton, if they got any momentum off the safety, it's going the other way now.
They might want to get the 4th down really quick so they can punt it again. This is going in the wrong direction.
They've had some good runs, and they generally have done better with quick hitting plays. If they try to run wide, Silver Bluff's too fast. Pump fake's going to go back to his left. Had a man out there, little back shoulder type of throw, and almost came up with it. That would have been a big play, but it falls incomplete. It is 3rd down and 30.
That was pretty good defense in the secondary also. Had the men well covered.
Wade Hampton spreads the field. They split 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Butts the lone back. Now he's going to run to his left. Looks downfield, now going to run, try to get outside. Tripped as he gets across the 50-yard line.
Number 2, Bryson Butts.
We'll say that he's
on the keeper.
Out of bounds around the 46-yard line. Still well short of a 1st down. 24 yards short.
That'll make it 4th down.
It's 4th down, and as Coach suggested, the punting unit will come on and see if they can get something running for Wade Hampton again. They got the safety off the last punt.
Malcolm Green is deep to receive this punt. The Silver Bluff quarterback.
This one's a high kick.
Yeah.
Calling for a fair catch. Good catch at the 20-yard line. And as you said, Malcolm Green, the quarterback, back there makes the catch.
Last time, wasn't it?
Well, last time it was a safety.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the last drive.
Last drive certainly was successful. 36 yards worth. And it is the I formation. Hill comes to the right. Gets a block, gets outside. Going to pick up about 5 yards. Good pickup. And I'm sure Coach Lowndes says we'll take that every time.
Every time.
And there's a flag on the field. That's holding against Silver Bluff. So
got a holding against the Bulldogs.
Silver Bluff making a couple of mistakes here. Be a 10-yard walk-off. It's actually inside the 20, so it'll be half the distance to the goal from there. And still put it inside the
Both teams have been in reverse this last couple minutes here.
Handoff to the fullback. Drayton, he fumbled.
Oh, my.
And it looks like Wade Hampton recovered it.
On the carry.
Nope.
He got it back. I don't know how he got it back. It certainly looked like Wade Hampton had the people there to get it.
The beanbag was thrown.
Gain of 8 yards.
So it did gain 8 of the 25 back. So bring up 3rd down and 17. I would imagine Silver Bluff's going to be very careful. Wade Hampton has not shown the ability to score tonight. So if they don't get the first down, punt it. Let your defense do the work.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. But this is a dangerous area. We've seen it happen time after time.
We've already seen one snapped over a punter's head tonight.
That's exactly right.
28, Devontae Hill on the carry. Gain of 5 yards. That'll make it 4th down and 15 for the Bulldogs.
So D'Angelo Drayton is the punter. So Silver Bluff going to call a timeout. We've got a Bragg Heating Company timeout on the field. We'll be right back.
You've heard of 6 degrees of separation? In Aiken, it's more like 1 or 2. It's a rare day that I don't go to a grocery store and see a former patient, their mother or father, or son or daughter. That's the nature of practicing medicine in a relatively small town, especially emergency medicine. But that's exactly what got me into practicing medicine in the first place, making that personal connection and helping people I know.
People you know, healthcare you trust. Aiken Regional Medical Centers.
All right, Silver Bluff has talked it over.
Our second winner tonight.
They got things straight, and like you said, they want to make sure this does not go over the punter's head. Nice and easy, fellas.
I got to believe they'll come after it, too. There, oh,
pop up.
My goodness.
Somehow he missed it. Oh, one of the Wade Hampton players fell down. I thought it was going to be a disaster from that, but it rolled out of bounds at the 36. And again, great field position for Silver Bluff.
And
for Wade Hampton.
I'll tell you what, that snap was high. They did come after it. They had some people close. He was fortunate to get that one off. Not a great kick, but at least he got it away.
It wasn't so much a high kick, a snap as it was a little pop-up. It took forever to get back to him, and that gave the rush a little bit of time. But to his credit, he got it off. Wasn't a long punt.
No.
All right, looking at the jet sweep. Butts keeps, tries to run off tackle. He may have gained a yard. Second down and 9.
They've tried that play a few times, and it has just gone nowhere tonight.
Well, as you said, Coach Lown and his discussions with Eric saying we're going to key on the quarterback. They are keying on the quarterback.
No question.
And he's tried to get outside, and he's tried to get inside, and he has not had any success.
And on his best runs, unfortunately, he's been hit hard as he was fighting for more yardage and coughed the ball up a couple times. And that's made a huge difference in this ball game.
Williams has had a couple of decent runs from the tailback position. But Silver Bluff defense has had its way.
Here we go again.
Boy, they get after him. Silver Bluff does a good job not letting him fake him out and throw him completely off.
He has been running for his life every time he tries to roll out and throw the football.
So he lost a yard for all of that. Clock winding down to the end of the third quarter.
And D'Angelo Drayton, number 2, chasing number 2. He has not had a chance to throw it tonight for the most part.
And that is the end of the third quarter, a quarter that will not go into the record books as outstanding offense. But Silver Bluff does put a touchdown on the board and a 2-point conversion, and they'll lead going into this final quarter, 22-0 when we return on the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
Don't forget, dream a little dream of chicken for breakfast. Annabelle, our cow from Chick-fil-A, reminds us of that. The Chick-fil-A will be serving breakfast in the morning over on Whiskey Road. Chick-fil-A of Aiken is our food sponsor. Fed us before the game. It was great, as always.
You know, and that Chick-fil-A really does a nice job, okay? And that company has a great reputation, but I can't imagine that there's any place that does a better job than the one right here in Aiken on Whiskey Road.
We appreciate them providing us with our meal before the game. So go by and remember to eat more chicken. Chick-fil-A of Aiken. All right, Wade Hampton, 3rd and 10. Butts rolls to his right, stops, and here comes the pass rush. He's trying to get it out. He gets away. He gets into the open, now passes the 20 down just short of the 10 at the 11-yard line. He's run out of bounds, and that shows us a little bit of what he is capable of doing.
That reminds me of Gray Carr over at Midland Valley. That was a phenomenal run. He should have been corralled at least 2 or 3 times in the backfield. I don't know how he got out of there. Got a lot of people chasing him. 1, 2, there's 3, 4, 5. About 6 people that thought they had him. Gets away. Unbelievable.
Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10 at the 11. This is White, or rather Williams.
Might have been a fumble again.
Goes inside the 5. If he fumbled, I do believe Wade Hampton recovered.
It's a gain of 7 yards.
A couple of the Silver Bluff people thought they had the football. He's got to go out for a play. Helmet came off.
Ball's at the 4-yard line. 2nd down and 3. They can pick up a first down. Wade Hampton fumbled the last time they were down in this territory, this part of the field. Right at the end of the first half, as they were driving to go in for the tying score. Now Butts keeps, and Silver Bluff does a great job of gang tackling. No gain, may have lost a yard.
Uh-oh. Now we've got a penalty.
Let's see what that is. As a flag came
from the
out
reaction of the
dead
Silver
ball.
Bluff players, has got to be against them.
Personal foul against Silver Bluff is the call. That'll be a half the distance walk-off, but it'll be enough for the first down, I do believe.
Been a personal foul against the Bulldogs. That'll make it first down and goal.
So first and goal.
On the 3-yard line.
Chandler Law Firm, first and goal for Wade Hampton. Ball on the 2. Butts, hands off. Spins, does Williams. He's right at the goal line. They're going to spot him just outside. He's at the half-yard line, 2nd down.
That's quite a collision down there. Let's see if we can tell who makes the hit here.
That'll be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, number 26 came up and really delivered quite a good blow there.
That's
Nigel Corbett.
That's a heck of an effort by Williams
Yeah,
to take the hit and spin and still try to get in there.
Got hit by 3 people.
If nothing else, for Silver Bluff, it runs the clock. Here's the handoff inside, touchdown. Wade Hampton gets their first touchdown of the game. 22-8. Let's see if they go for 2. I would think they'd go for 1 if they have a kicker. Obviously, we've seen the kickoffs for Silver Bluff and the adventure they are. Unless they go for 2 points every time, but Wade Hampton will bring their kicker out. And obviously, that's what they're going to do. They need 3 touchdowns and 3 extra points, and they would win the game.
Yeah, and Harper Cook.
The kick is up and good.
Kick is good.
Nice kick. He did a nice job on the kickoff so far that we've seen, and that's also a good effort.
So 1-yard touchdown run gives Wade Hampton new life. They still trail 22-9 with 9:52 left to go in this ball game, and that's a lot of time. They'll have to get Silver Bluff 3 and out and get back down the field in a hurry.
Well, I know as a coach, somebody on that Silver Bluff sideline is thinking about last year where they had this game won against Wade Hampton up until the last 3 minutes of the ball game, and Wade Hampton scored a touchdown to take the victory away from them. So I'm sure they're telling their kids, hey, let's make sure we finish this off. Need another drive right here.
I'm sure Coach Lown is saying let's do a good job of retaining possession on this as well. No mistakes.
Interesting situation here for Wade Hampton. I don't think they'll try an onside kick, but thought had to cross their mind.
Wooten goes deep for Silver Bluff. Hill is back on the right side. Drayton over on the left side. Kicks it straight down the middle, and it's
That'll be
actually
nice.
fortunate that the ball went into the end zone for Silver Bluff, so it's an automatic touchback. That thing dilly-dallied down there on the 2-yard line. There might have been an opportunity there. but the ball took a funny hop, skipped over Wooten's head,
The kick is through the end zone.
and it's an automatic touchback once it touches the end zone in high school football. So Silver Bluff will get out, try to get some momentum back and get a couple of first downs and run this clock. And this is a good start. This may go the distance across midfield. He's pulling away, and that's the second time that Drayton has made a big play. 80-yard touchdown run by D'Angelo Drayton, and that changes the momentum.
That changes everything. Okay, that should literally put it out of reach at this point. We've seen some strange things happen over the years, but that should be the icing on the cake, really.
Boy, Drayton showed some really good speed when he got out there on the edge, turned upfield, and was pulling away from the defensive backs for Wade Hampton. So Silver Bluff will go for 2 and try to extend this lead to 30-9. They lead 28-9. High formation. Hill is the tailback, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. So the 2-point conversion is no good, but 6 points put up on the board. They answer the touchdown by Wade Hampton quickly on one play, and they lead 28-9. Let's go down to the sidelines for an Auto Tech sideline report. Eric, what's the update?
Midland Valley still leads Swansea 20-6. Wagner Sally has a 2-point lead over Blackville Hilda 22-20. Fox Creek is running away with it. They have a 27-0 lead over Ware Shoals. And Rich Spring Winetta has come back from a 12-0 deficit to lead now 14-12.
All right. Thank you, Eric.
We've got a penalty here now at the end of that last play.
And what was the call? Well, here he is. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Silver Bluff. Boy, Coach Lowndes going to have a few things to talk about.
Yeah, there've been a couple things that happened here, but
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Silver Bluff.
I'll back it up 15 yards on the kickoff.
I got to think that was probably a taunting or something like that. Somebody probably said something that the referees overheard and didn't like.
Now they're marching the wrong way.
Something's wrong here. That penalty was either against Wade Hampton or they signaled it was against Silver Bluff, but it certainly appears that it had to be against Wade Hampton.
He signaled the wrong direction,
yes,
obviously, because 15 yards has been walked off against Wade Hampton. And I think what he meant was he was pointing at the kickoff, that it'd be assessed on the kickoff.
That may have been.
And I imagine he'll go wind up and try to kick this as far as he can kick it, which is right at the goal line, which turns out to be a pretty good kick under the circumstances. And Wade Hampton will be stopped short of the 20-yard line. So 28-9, our score with 9:30 left to go. And here's the Specs replay of the touchdown.
And, you know, I think that's an outstanding effort by Drayton. I have a feeling that play was designed to go inside, okay, and as he was reading it, which the wing T asks the backs to do oftentimes, he just bounced that outside right away and took it his own. Outstanding run.
Now here's a quick pass, bubble screen type deal. Gets outside, that gains about 10 yards. In fact, it gained 11. They'll move the chains. Chandler Law Firm 1st and 10 at the 29. But D'Angelo Drayton, 2 big runs, a 56-yard touchdown run right before the end of the first half to give Silver Bluff 14-0 lead at the half. And now after a score by Wade Hampton made it 22-9, Drayton, an 80-yard touchdown run to extend it to 28-9. Now Williams gets nowhere, loses yardage.
And that front for Silver Bluff has done a great job tonight. When they try to throw the ball against them, they're in there chasing the quarterback all over the place. And oftentimes they're running a run blitz and making contact well behind the line of scrimmage, 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage that time. That's terrific.
First injury of the night. The Aiken Regional Medical Center injury report is that a Silver Bluff player is down.
Looks like it's a cramp.
So we have a injury timeout, an ARMC injury timeout, and we'll take a break and be right back.
You've heard of 6 degrees of separation? In Aiken, it's more like 1 or 2. It's a rare day that I don't go to a grocery store and see a former patient, their mother or father, or son or daughter. That's the nature of practicing medicine in a relatively small town, especially emergency medicine. But that's exactly what got me into practicing medicine in the first place, making that personal connection and helping people I know.
People you know, healthcare you trust. Aiken Regional Medical Centers.
The Aiken Regional Medical Center timeout was for number 44, Teeson Wooten, and we do believe it was a cramp as he walked out off on his own power.
Replay on that last offensive play. Look at the penetration by Silver Bluff. It's not one guy. There's 3-4 of them in the backfield.
So back to play on the field. Butts running around, trying to make things happen. Throws it incomplete.
Butts pass intended for number 4, Miles Murdoch. It's incomplete.
Butts does a good job of scrambling and running. His arm doesn't look that bad, but he certainly is not finding open receivers.
He's not finding open receivers. It's hard to throw when you're running for your life, and he's been doing that the entire night. I don't think he's been able to set up once he's gotten outside the pocket.
The pass rush has been pretty fierce.
It has been terrific.
3rd down, 14. And here's a run that's going to gain big yardage. It's going to be close to a first down. If they spot it at the 40, that'll be good enough for a first down as it gains 15 yards. And it is spotted at the 40. Move the chains, Chandler Law Firm, 1st and 10 for Wade Hampton. Not a lot of time left in this ball game as the clock winds down to the 7:45 mark. Wade Hampton trailing 28-9. Williams again makes a man miss, keeps running hard. He's shown a
Number 1, Trayvon Williams.
ability to run hard and make something out of nothing.
He's a tough runner. He just hadn't had anywhere to run tonight for the most part. They bottled him up pretty good. Like I say, they've played outstanding defense.
Good run here on the Specs replay.
I got to believe they're starting to get a little tired out there. They've been chasing people and running all over the field. Wouldn't be surprised if it's starting to wear on a couple of those guys up front.
Ball's in to Bulldog territory. Now here comes Butts, trying to get outside, get to the edge. Silver Bluff does a good job of cutting him off. He turns it inside, does get some yardage, gets 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 coming up at the 45-yard line.
Gain of 4 yards.
Going to throw it outside. Gets a good little swing pass. And this time, no holding is number 4.
There's a flag
Miles
down.
Murdaugh gets down the field, and there is a flag. Pretty much the same spot. The last time he had that, there was a holding call downfield. And they're going to call interference on Wade Hampton on the call. And now that's interesting.
Oh, now they're
and
gonna
here comes another flag.
Yeah.
And they're going to get somebody for saying something. That's a tough call. We'll have to look at the replay. They're calling interference on a swing pass where there was nobody guarding in position to even guard Murdoch.
Yeah, let's see if we can get that play come back here. They
and then sportsmanlike, so you got the interference call. I think one's 10 yards, and then unsportsmanlike.
Let's see. Well, can't see it on that replay there.
Yeah, we see people running down the field. Well, James is doing the best he can, directing, producing, and doing. Yeah, here we go. Well, there's what I think they called was right there. And
it looked like they called a little block in the back, but
well, he gave the interference call, but they may have meant that it was a block in the back. Wouldn't be the first time an official said one thing. He's pointed in the wrong direction. So Wade Hampton going to call timeout, and I believe that they're going to talk to their players about calming down a little bit.
You know, they've had several plays tonight where they've had decent plays and got called back. That's got to be at least the third or fourth penalty on a little swing pass out there or a quick screen that they run, and not getting anything for it. They've had a few other plays where the penalties have really hurt them. Little frustration.
Saturday, October 31st.
I'm sure in their view, if they go back and look at the tapes, they certainly could have been in this ball game, especially when you look back at the fumble at the end of the first half inside the 5-yard line, where they were going in to score to tie the game at the half, and then Silver Bluff turned it on them and went down the field and scored on a 97-yard drive and took a 14-0 lead at the half. Then another fumble to open Wade Hampton's third quarter, where they received the opening kickoff on the first play, fumbled it, and gave it back, gave great field position, and Silver Bluff went 36 yards to make it 22-0. So put themselves behind the 8 ball with the mistakes, and the first one, of course, came on the punt over the punter's head. He fired that, and that was a great pass, and right in the hands, unable to come up with it.
Yeah, he can throw it. He's a good athlete. And as the coach said, you know, he's a great leader.
That'll bring up third down.
I'm sure he's had a frustrating night tonight. On his best runs, he fumbled the ball twice. That hurts. And then he's had some of his best pass plays called back because of penalties. That hurts. Frustrating.
Oh, somehow he comes out of that, but he's going to lose huge yardage. It's going to bring up a fourth down and forever.
Number 44.
10, 20, 30, 40. Fourth down and 40.
The pressure from Silver Bluff tonight has been relentless, and sometimes you get caught when you do that. But for the most part, the vast majority of times tonight, their pressure has just disrupted what Wade Hampton wanted to do. Has not run the ball particularly efficiently, haven't been able to throw the ball. Fine defensive performance by Silver Bluff.
Silver Bluff will play defense on this. After all, he is the quarterback. Gets the punt away. He's going to roll down the field. It's a good punt.
Get away from, what the heck?
Oh, Silver Bluff covers it. And that'll be another thing to work on this week. Of number 42 is Silk Ingram.
Let me see if the special teams coach wants to chat with that young man.
As he comes to the sidelines, you know.
There's 3 coaches there that want to say just a little something like, you know, you don't need to do that.
Fortunately, he fell on it and recovered it right at the 33. So Silver Bluff will try to run out the rest of the clock. 5:17 left to go in the game. Back to their normal wing T formation. Wooten gets the handoff as he gets outside. Gets about 7-8 yards.
Tyler Wooten on the carry. Gain of 9 yards.
They're going to give him 9, 2nd down and 1.
That'll make it 2nd down and 1 to go from the 42-yard line.
And they just want the clock to run now for sure. They've got the game well in hand. It's going to be a good win. Nice division and region victory. Puts them in good shape for the rest of the season. Let's just get out of here.
Going to be stopped. I do believe he picked up a yard and may have gotten the 1st down before he was driven back.
Yeah, there's a flag down, I think.
Flag comes in late.
Number 5.
They'll call a procedure against Silver Bluff. And that'd be a 5-yard walk-off.
Coach wants an explanation. I think they're giving it to him.
He's going to take somebody out on that play. Coach didn't want an explanation as much as he wanted to know who is it on.
They may not have had enough players on the field.
And that I think
that's what happened.
Is what happened, and they sent Davis, Devontae Davis out there, and then thought more of it, and I think thought, let's send somebody else out there.
I think he was supposed to be out there for that first play and wasn't.
Yeah, and why not send him out and then bring him back out after that? I think you're right. They only had 10 players because nobody did come out. Well, the ball comes out. A little scramble. Wade Hampton says they have it.
And they held the runner up, and then everybody was just punching at it, grabbing at the football, and they got it.
So Silver Bluff will come off the field, and Wade Hampton's offense will come back. And a game that was pretty efficient in the first half has gotten pretty sloppy here in the second as we watch the Specs replay. And they stand him up and snatch it out. Butts fakes the handoff. Nice looking play. Boy, he's got an arm. He's got a man down there, and he stopped running. If he keeps running, he at least has a chance. Got to run through it. That was a nice pass. He threw that from right around midfield, and that went all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, he threw that 45, 50 yards for sure. And it was on target.
Butts faked the handoff, kept it on the option.
On the keeper.
Didn't get anything. 3rd down and 10.
And Devontae Davis, number 6, was in on that play. He'll get a pat on the helmet for that one.
Devontae Davis is a good football player,
yes,
good defensive player, especially. Got a little bit in the doghouse on the not being in the offensive huddle.
Those three defensive linemen for Silver Bluff are now in a 4-point sprinter stance, and they are just coming.
We have a Bragg Heating Company timeout. We'll keep it right here. And this is the part of the game that gets a little old from a standpoint of from the coaches. They just want to get it over with. Don't let anybody get hurt. I'm impressed with Silver Bluff. They got some things, obviously, to work on. They've got some younger players who still make mistakes, like trying to recover the punt. And, those are the kind of things that you can fix.
Yeah, well, a little education there will take care of that. But that was dangerous. I mean, that could have been a disaster.
But from that standpoint, they've got some good talent. Last year, Devontae Davis can remember him from that team and thinking that's going to be a good football player, and he is. But all the rest of them were little and had a little bit of speed, but you really couldn't see anything. Now they've gotten some offensive linemen who've gotten bigger, and you can see they're going to be a force in their division.
I think they will be, and they played well defensively tonight, and they did some good things offensively too. Broke 3 plays for long touchdown runs. Anybody's got to be happy with that.
Here they come after him again. Throws it up for grabs, and it is picked off. Been some times that it was close to being picked off, and they finally picked one up. Number 5, Malik Washington. Malik's made some big plays here tonight.
And I got to be honest, I'm surprised that that's only the second pick tonight. The way he's been harassed back there and having to throw in desperation. We had one tip drill pass interception early in the game, and then this one there, the receiver is surrounded by 3-4 defenders, and he's got to take a chance on throwing it there. But like I say, I'm surprised we haven't seen more interceptions tonight because he has just had no time to throw the ball at all.
Well, he ran the fake jet sweep just a minute ago and threw that long pass.
Right.
And that time, Davis and Jackson, 8 and 6, they weren't having anything to do with the fake. They were chasing him. They've been in the backfield chasing him all night long.
Well, they've gotten good pressure out of their front 3, and then they've also sent linebackers coming from everywhere that have not been picked up. They just had tremendous pressure against both the pass and the run. And to be honest, that's what they've got to do. I don't think they're big enough or, powerful enough up front that they're just going to overwhelm people that are out-muscle them. Okay, they're decent size up there, but they're not extraordinarily large or anything like that. They've got to be quick. They've got to use stunts, and they do it very well.
Well, they've never had huge size on the line here at Silver Bluff, but they had people who were efficient.
Yeah, and tough.
And very, very tough.
Tough and aggressive. And fast. It's not a bad combination.
No. Picked up a yard. It's 3rd down and 5. Silver Bluff in need of probably a first down, and they'll be able to run the clock out and get on to next week. On a week that's been tough in the state of South Carolina. I'm sure this was a game that Coach Lown and his staff worried about from the practice point of view, and are glad to get the win in the book, because Wade Hampton, quite frankly, in the first half was Silver Bluff's equal.
Yeah, they played solid defense the first half themselves, had a couple tough breaks offensively, but second half they've pretty much been held in check. Well, I say that the first half Silver Bluff threw a shutout also, so you're not going to complain about that.
Well, the 2 bad plays by Wade Hampton is what came back to haunt them. The bad snap on the punt, and then the fumble inside the 5 that turned into a 97-yard drive. Silver Bluff going to turn it over on downs. Wade Hampton's still playing hard. Of course, I think Silver Bluff giving a chance to some of the other players. That's John Green. He's a freshman.
From the 48-yard line.
So 44 seconds left to go in this ball game, and Wade Hampton will see if they can work something out in the short period of time they have left. Run it downfield. Tip drill almost intercepted. Intended for number 6. Which is Elijah Quan Wright.
And that's Deion Singleton, their junior quarterback who threw that ball, number 17. I think that's a smart move.
Go check out the band concession stand before you leave here tonight.
Yeah, I would say that Bryson Butts ought to be completely worn out.
I would think so. He's run around a lot out there tonight.
Cleaning up this stadium after the game. Help out those girls softball players. Find a blue trash can and throw away all your trash.
He's winding up to throw that. Couldn't let it go, so he's sacked, loses a couple of yards. Comes up third down.
Number 17, Deion Singleton on the keeper.
And the clock winds down, less than 20 seconds.
Short gain on the play.
That may have been the last play.
13 for the Red Devils.
They may let him run one more play.
He wants to, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Of course he wants to. Drops back, going to throw. It's complete. Silver Bluff knocks him down as soon as he catches it. And the game buzzer goes off, and Silver Bluff comes through with a big 28-9 win over Wade Hampton. Their first game in conference this season as they run their record to 1-0. And they will look to be a force in their division in 2A.
We'll be right here next week.
Again, first half was pretty evenly even between the two teams. It was 6-0 late into the second quarter. And Wade Hampton was knocking on the door with less than 3 minutes to go in the half and fumbled inside the 5-yard line. Silver Bluff turned around and went the length of the field. A 56-yard run by Drayton put them up 14-0. They never looked back, and they win 28-9.
No, and they really were in complete command of this ball game in the second half. Wade Hampton had a couple of plays where they made some decent yardage and so on, but overall Silver Bluff had it locked away without too much trouble in the second half. And good news for Silver Bluff, next week they play Edisto, and that should be they will go into that ball game as a significant favorite in that ball game, so they should be able to work on some of the things that we saw tonight that they still need some work on, and that'll set them up pretty well for their run towards the playoffs.
You want to stay tuned for the Tal Wilkins Center for Dentistry MVP, which we'll announce here in the post game. We'll take a break and come back and give you that information here on the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12.
We give very good deals. We don't have the overhead and the dock fees and all the junk that all the newer, fancier dealers do. So people like that hometown atmosphere, and it works for us. And so we continue to do what works for us. And so we just like to keep it plain and simple. You come see us, you'll be glad you did.
Weekends are for resting, relaxing, and recharging your batteries. A good weekend can also give you the time to catch up on business you couldn't get to during the week. For Security Federal Bank customers, that means banking business. What does 7-day banking mean to your banker? More importantly, what does it mean to you? At Security Federal Bank, being open 7 days a week means just that. That's why our Southside branch on Whiskey Road in front of Target is open for business every day, even Saturday and Sunday. We're proud to be the only bank to be open 7 days a week in Aiken County.
Since 1970, Bragg Heating Company has been keeping Aiken and the surrounding communities comfortable. Our factory-trained staff can keep you on top of the latest in heating and cooling technology, and our complete metal shop allows us to make any specialty piece your home may need. We recommend the best systems for your home: Trane, Carrier, Mitsubishi ductless, and Bosch geothermal systems. We accept most major credit cards and offer financing, so when you need your system maintained, repaired, or replaced, call Bragg Heating Company. We're here to make you comfortable.
Were you hurt on the job? Are you trying to keep your work comp payments? Do you feel like no one is listening? Your employer, the company doctor, the insurance company? Well, we're listening. Our workers' compensation team has helped hundreds of injured South Carolinians. Call us now and let us listen to you. For a free consultation, call 803-644-5335 or visit thechandlerlawfirm.com.
You can count on Chandler.
Tyler's Tire and Auto Center, founded in 1963, family owned and operated for 50 years and dedicated to customer service with safety of your family, our top priority. Tyler's Tire is a full-service tire retail, tire repair, and automotive repair facility with ASC certified mechanics. Located in 2 locations, 1019 Richland Avenue West and 1518 Whiskey Road. Let our family take care of yours. Tyler's Tire and Auto Center.
You've heard of 6 degrees of separation? In Aiken, it's more like 1 or 2. It's a rare day that I don't go to a grocery store and see a former patient, their mother or father, or son or daughter. That's the nature of practicing medicine in a relatively small town, especially emergency medicine. But that's exactly what got me into practicing medicine in the first place, making that personal connection and helping people I know.
People you know, healthcare you trust. Aiken Regional Medical Centers.
(28-9), our final score tonight. Silver Bluff, the Bulldogs, hold off the Red Devils of Wade Hampton in a game that I'd say was actually a lot closer than what the score indicates. Would you agree with that?
I would, especially in the first half. It was, I mean, they were up 14-0, but you know, they could have easily been closer score-wise than that.
Well, the difference in the game is Silver Bluff did not turn the ball over. Wade Hampton had the punt, the 2 fumbles, the interceptions. They had a bunch of turnovers.
Yeah, they did. Okay, and turnovers obviously make a huge difference, and they had at least 5 that we can count, and that was a large part of who won the ball game. I do have to take my hat off to the coaching staff for Silver Bluff, though. Their kids were well prepared in a tough week, all right, and they played well both sides of the ball and special teams. They did it well on all 3 facets of the game.
And as we pointed out in the pregame, if you weren't here for that, Silver Bluff wasn't able to practice the first of the week because schools were closed for Aiken County. And since the school's closed, they won't allow you to practice. And I contend that Coach Buck would have never done that. Coach Buck would have said, okay, guys, you don't have school, we're going to practice. And we would have practiced in the morning and practiced at night. So it would have been a tough time.
Very good.
All right, well, let's go down for an Auto Tech sideline report. And Eric has a special guest with him. Eric, go ahead.
Yes, I'm here with D'Angelo Drayton. I believe the final total was 160, more than 169 yards, obviously, but a couple touchdowns. Did you see anything in particular out there on those 2 plays? Or?
Yes, sir. I just saw the hole and I just ran.
Okay. D'Angelo, what'd you call those 2 plays? I mean, what was the call on the first one, right up the middle? What do you all call that play?
124.
124, exactly. Yes, okay, that's the old wing T thing from Delaware.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
and what about the one you bounced to the outside? What were you attempting to do on that?
I was supposed to go in the 7 hole, but I had to bounce it outside because it was clogged up.
87 belly, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's I knew that's what that was. All right, I knew it was supposed to go inside, and you did a great job reading that and then bouncing it outside like good running backs can do.
Thank you.
You showed some great speed on that, too. You got outside, and those guys were back in your dust.
Yeah.
The other thing I was impressed by, D'Angelo, your job on defense. You made a couple of really outstanding tackles early in the ball game, open field tackles, and you were all over the place tonight.
Yes, sir.
What do you enjoy more, offense or defense?
I enjoy both. I play both 100%.
That's a good answer. Good answer. Good football player.
All right, D'Angelo, and what's it been like kind of over these past couple of years? You've been a leader for a while for the team. And what's it been like to see you guys have it turned around now and get a good start in region?
It's better. Coming off of last year and stepping up, people playing better roles this year. They knowing their job, and we're just doing it better.
All right. And Coach Lown told me that your offensive line have been a couple of the big guys to step up for you this year. What's it been like for them guys blocking for you? And
it's great. I tell them they miss a block, I fuss at them, and they can pick up the block, and they'll get it right the next play.
All right, I appreciate that.
All right, well, stay right where you are. James, go ahead and roll tape for us on this, and just hang in there for a second.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tal Wilkins.
And I'm Dr. Brooke Ussery with the Center for Dentistry.
We, along with Aiken Center Television, would like to congratulate the most valuable player of the game.
Congratulations.
Thank you, doctors. And D'Angelo, you had an 80-yard touchdown run and a 56-yard touchdown run, and as Eric pointed out, maybe more than 169 yards rushing. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You are our MVP for tonight's game.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. Well, that's D'Angelo Drayton, our MVP on tonight's game. Nice young man, and had a heck of a night.
He sure did, and good football player. All right. Good football player. And I think we've got Coach Lown hooking himself up here.
Yes. How y'all doing tonight?
We are great, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, and the one thing that I'd like to say to you, I think you guys must have done a heck of a coaching job, because not only did you have the weather, not only did you not get to practice, but you had homecoming, and sometimes that interferes with things. But you guys must have done a heck of a job, because your kids played very well offensively, defensively, and special teams tonight.
Well, I appreciate that. We've been focused for a long. It was a tough year last year, so we put a lot of work into getting back and being region champions, and so we've been looking forward to this first region game, and our kids responded real well to the short week. Yes, they did.
You know, Coach, and it is nice to see you guys bounce back and play well and get the win. But just knowing you and having watched you for the last few years, I imagine you saw a few things to work on tonight too, didn't you?
Yeah, we didn't block very well in the second half. I thought defensively, first off, our defense played really good tonight. We switched we've been in a 4-3 and a 3-4, and we made a commitment even going into last week's game that got rained out to go back to our 3-5, which is more natural fit for us and get more people up. And I thought our defense really made some good plays tonight. Their quarterback was pretty dynamic. So defensively, we played real good, made some big plays on offense. D'Angelo Drayton obviously made a couple, and Devontae Hill, but we weren't as consistent on offense as we've been the past month.
All right, Coach. And when I spoke to you earlier this week, you said you were hoping the defense was able to stop the run better than your last performance. Were you satisfied with that, considering the way they were able to stop it and the way they stepped up against the pass when Wade Hampton was forced to pass the ball?
Yeah, I thought I don't know how many turnovers. Got 3 or 4 tonight, I reckon, and I don't think we've had that many all year. So I was really pleased with getting the turnovers, and we played a lot better pass coverage. In a cover 3, we've been in a 4 deep, cover 2 look, and we've been getting confused. And so we went back and played a simpler cover 3 back there tonight, and I think that helped us out.
All right, I spoke to Drayton about it a little bit as one of the leaders on the team, and he had 2 of the big plays. And I know at one point he was a much bigger factor in the run game, and kind of went to some different people. But what's it like to see him now have that big performance coming back?
Well, we know he was our leading rusher last year, so we know we can run the ball. There's no doubt about that. But we has to play linebacker the whole game too, so we try to pick our spots with him and him and Malik Washington. And we lost actually Eric Robinson, who was our starting fullback, is out with a hamstring pull and probably still be out a couple more weeks. So D'Angelo had to carry more of the load there tonight, but that's a good guy to fall back on.
All right,
Coach. We're used to watching you run the wing T and run it to perfection, and you did that tonight. But it's somewhat surprising there in the second half. You came out in the I formation and really stuffed it down their throats. What did you see at halftime to decide that?
Well, we've run the I now. A little bit the last 2 or 3 games. Devontae Hill he's a big back, and he runs hard, and getting in that eye and getting him running downhill is really better suited for him than the sideway action in the wing T. So we're still not going to get out of the wing T, obviously, but we feel like with him pounded in there, he's better downhill, and so we've been in the eye a little bit here lately, but don't look for us to leave the wing T anytime soon.
Well, you look good doing it.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of wing T teams have that eye in their arsenal too, okay? One thing about the wing T, you can usually find something that'll work, whether it's the fullback, whether it's a quarterback, one of the wing backs, or your halfbacks. Something usually works, especially when a coach has as much experience as you do running it.
Well, thank you. It really is an easy adjustment. We actually call just about the same plays, but we just run them out of the eye.
Absolutely.
The only thing is there's not as much misdirection in the eye, but basically it's our same run game, and we're just lining up in a different formation.
Yep.
You looked a lot like the Georgia Bulldogs as opposed to Silver Bluff
I don't know
Bulldogs.
now. Don't be careful. Wait a minute. Y'all going a little bit too far now.
No, I'm not. It's a high school level, but it's the I formation part that looked like it.
I think he just is not a Bulldog fan when it's Georgia.
I'm definitely a Bulldog fan, but I wouldn't compare us to Georgia and I yet.
Well, not that part, but anyway, at any rate, congratulations. good win tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all being out. We really do appreciate y'all's support. Y'all do a great job for high school athletics and football, and we appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
Well,
good luck.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, head coach Al Lown. A good game, Coach.
It was a good game, and it was, I think, an important game for Silver Bluff. Okay, and like I say, the rest of their schedule, I know they'll be favored next week. All right, and they gain more confidence, and they learn to do a couple other things. The one thing, and you know me well enough to know, that I would like to see Silver Bluff do is develop a little bit of a passing game. Okay, we haven't seen that so far, and if they add that to their arsenal, I think they'll be very, very good again.
Yeah, they tried to throw a few there in the early going, and
not too much.
Weren't successful with it. You just said, okay, we're successful with the run.
Well, and they can be very successful just running the football too. There's no question, because they've got some kids that are quite talented back there.
Okay, that's going to do it for tonight. Silver Bluff victorious over Wade Hampton 28-9. Good win. They'll move on and play Edisto next week. And where are we going to be next week, Eric? Eric's gone.
I think we're going to be at South Aiken.
South Aiken.
Oh,
Strom Thurmond. Okay, very
against
good. Well, who's Strom Thurmond going to be up against? Okay, it'll be a good game no matter what they play. It'll be good to see the number one team in our area, Strom Thurmond, and of course they've got the greatest press box of all the high schools that we get to go and visit. So we look forward to that. Look forward to seeing you again next week. But for now, for James Grigsby, our director, for Eric Russell on the sidelines, for Coach Ken Brace, I'm Ed Gerardo. Thank you for joining us tonight for the Jim Satcher Motors Game of the Week on ASTV and WRDW My 12. We'll see you next week at Strom Thurmond. Good night. Late for work or school again? AutoTech can get your car or truck running smoothly in no time. Whether late model or classic, domestic or import, AutoTech can get the hums and hisses out of your vehicle. Their state-of-the-art computer diagnostics can identify your problem and get you on your way. Bring your automobile today to 460 Silver Bluff Road across from Hitchcock Plaza. AutoTech, mechanics you can trust with your family's safety.
You can smile.
I love to smile.
I was so pleased that I could get all of my dentistry work done in just one visit.
You can smile.
Painless. That's how I would describe it.
Here at the Center for Dentistry, it has been a wonderful experience. With the comprehensive nature of this office, this one office, I can bring my family here and we can have it all done at one place.
You can smile.
Center for Dentistry, 1391 Silver Bluff Road, Aiken.
At Specs Vision Center, we are focused on total eye care. Be it our large selection of designer frames, latest and contact lenses, or our great sunglass collection, we have just what you are looking for. Our doctors offer years of experience and use the latest technology to ensure a comprehensive eye examination. Late afternoon and Saturday appointments are available, so if you want the best in eye care, call Specs today at 642-9902.
Calling all college football fans, Unique Expressions has everything you need for game day, including collegiate apparel, accessories, tailgating items, even Yeti coolers. Shop a variety of South Carolina, Clemson, and Georgia gear. We have something for every fan. And that's not all. Unique Expressions offers on-site embroidery, vinyl lettering, and an array of personalized gifts. Find the perfect gift for any occasion and shop brands like Spartina, Vera Bradley, Woodley Pulitzer, Jack Rogers, Simply Southern, Tyler Candle Company, and so much more. Stop in today. Unique Expressions, 1521 Whiskey Road in Mitchell Shopping Center in Aiken, South Carolina.
Choosing a physician you can trust with your family's health is an important decision. University Medical Associates has been dedicated to your health care for over 20 years, and Dr. Humans and his staff are ready to provide the quality care you and your family deserve. With short wait times, walk-ins and same-day appointments, an in-house lab by Quest Diagnostics, and 24-hour turnaround on sports physicals, it's no wonder Dr. Humans was selected Best Family Doctor in Aiken's Choice 2015. Come see us today, 934 Doherty Road in Aiken.
You finally found your dream home, but it needs a few tweaks. New windows, vinyl siding, maybe a sunroom. Who do you call to do the job right? Since 1963, Bates & Sons has been proud to offer quality products for your home, installed with unsurpassed workmanship. Check out our latest jobs on Facebook, and you could win one of our monthly giveaways. Visit our showroom on Vaucluse Road, or call 803-648-3581.
Half lemonade, half ice cream. Frosted lemonade starting at 240 calories.